Hello everybody. I'm not too sure how I add everybody at the moment, so this is going to be a bit ad lib. Can you give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me? No one can hear me. Oh, thank goodness for that. Right, I'm not sure how I had the guys actually. I just need to let me just see if I can find a link. I'll pick this one. Give it a try. Oh, I feel absolutely dreadful. Right, let's see. No, that's not doing it. Okay, I'm just gonna have to waffle on until I work this one out. I'm hoping a few people are going to come on and have a chat, and I can just monitor the chat and ask, take a note of any questions, and the guys can answer them because my voice really is not up to it. Like, it's been an exciting couple of weeks in British Bigfoot. We finally started to, hi Susie, we finally started to see small signs appearing again in the woods. Oh, and obviously we had the Scotland trip that we've not really talked about yet, so I'm hoping the guys will come on. Oh, Karen's trying to get on 1 second. Let me just get her email and I can jump her in. Yeah, so we went up to Scotland to visit Isabella and have a look in the area up there along the Tay. Amazing area. And then we travelled down south and we had a look at down south from where Isabella is. We had a look at some of the forests there, like around Griffin and Dunkeld, that kind of area. And then we moved on down to Penrith and visited some of the sighting account areas from down that end. I think we went to Lowther when we were in Penrith. I'll just see if I can get carried on. I'm usually a lot more organised than this, as you know. It's just this cold. I cannot shake it. I picked it up when I was in Scotland. Not mentioning any names. Chris Turner. And me and Darren have had it ever since. And we both felt absolutely dreadful, I'll be honest. Let's see, just sent that to Chris. And I know that Spirit Research Northeast, you're full of it as well. Oh, apparently the Mad Irishman, Rachel's just been letting me know the Mad Irishman's made another video. I blocked him weeks ago, so I don't know what he does. But apparently he's made a video and he's doing a Sasquatch Ontario. He's got live vocals.
Hi, Deb.
Hi, Karen. Buzzing. There's Kaz. I know I am not too well at all. It's driving me mental. Right. I'll just need the guys to send me their... Oh, my head's not working. I just need the guys to send me their email. And then I can jump them in. But I can't shake this cold what we got from Scotland. It's driving me mad. Oh, yeah. So the Mental Irishman. First of all, we had Sasquatch Village and all that malarkey, didn't we, off him? And then we had the ketchup stone it on the head. Well, apparently now he's up in a new channel and he's getting Sasquatch vocals. They're talking to him. So, yeah. So he's done really well in his few short bubs.
I'll have to go and look for it.
Oh, it might not be worth it, I would imagine. Right,
No,
Rob.
It keeps me entertained when I'm bored.
Well, yeah, I would imagine. So I think it's called now Big Ted Bigfoot or something like that. Something on them line.
I've seen him.
Right, yeah. Well, yeah, he's got another one going up today, apparently. Along that one, he's doing the old buddy, like that. It's a Sasquatch that's Right, I'm just going to text Rob and see where he is, to be honest, because I just need him to jump in now.
Yeah.
Well, they've seen it, but they've not given me their email, so... Right, got one. There's Robert. There we go. Yeah, so what I was thinking is if everybody just gabs along and I stay out of it, I can keep an eye on the chat and I can take any questions that are asked, that kind of thing, and then I'll jump in when... Yes, of course I'm streaming now, Robert. It's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that'd be good because I can't keep up with the chat, so...
Oh, well, that's what I was thinking. So I'll monitor the chat and make sure we don't get any edibles. And then if we get any questions, I can write them down. So, right, that's Rob's idea, so he might pop in a minute. And Darren, because Darren he came with us to Scotland, and obviously we went out yesterday onto the loon. Oh, it was amazing. We went Morecambe Way.
Oh, yeah.
And the forest was completely different. It wasn't just like pines, it was all mixed, and there was just strawberries everywhere. And hazelnuts. I brought loads of hazelnuts home. I've never seen that many in one place, but it felt a bit sacred.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to describe it. Like I felt like I was walking in somebody's house, and like I had to be really respectful. I didn't even want to have a cig and that until we got out of the area. Oh, it was a lovely place, but too much walking for me. It's all up and down like granite and everything. Right. Well, I've sent it in. Not much more I can do now, so I'm hoping they're going to jump on board. I was hoping we could get Brendan on as well, but I've not heard from him this week.
Well, I'm here.
I know, you're here for me. I like your profile picture, that's cool.
I'm going to have her blown up on a canvas for in my front room.
I'm going to have her blown up. I don't blame you. I'd have her blown up as well.
She's pretty fit.
She is pretty fit, isn't she? Yeah. I got a really cool book yesterday. I'll have to watch it. When I've read it, I'll send it over to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi Deb, can you mention where to look in Shropshire? I'd have to get my map up in Shropshire. I know there's lots of activity on the border of Shropshire and Wales, but let me think how I can get back to you. If I put my map up, I'm not going to have enough data, you see, to keep the live feed going. And I can't think off the top of my head. Can you, if I pop my email here in the chat, if you give me an email, and I'll have a look later as soon as I come offline, and I will find you somewhere. Because you could just give me your postcode and I'll get you to your nearest area. That's normally what I do. Right, there you go, Stuart. It's just popped up for you now. I can't get back in bed, Chris. Yeah, I'm finding myself. I just can't shift this thing off my chest. So it just sounds worse than I am, but I just really need to rest my voice. Other exciting news is, hello, Chris, that I have decided that I'm going to do the radio show. So it'll be like I think it's a weekly radio show we'll be doing, and it'll be called Crypto Realm. I think that's what we've decided that we're going to stick with. And it'll be me and I'll let him announce it before I give him his name. But yeah, so it's a kind of a compilation between America and Britain. And we're going to try and bring as many subjects in as we can. So not just Bigfoot, anything kind of that you want to talk about. And we'll get guests on the show and start doing as many live feeds as we can and things like that. So what's been happening in the world of Karen?
Well, not much. I have been out, but it's too busy. It's that time of year. It's just too busy for me.
It's just nothing about either, really, is there? It's slow this year.
There's too many people. I need to get out away from round here. Once that sun comes out, it spoils it for me because there's just too many people. So you can't sit in a quiet spot anywhere and have that moment.
I know. I ashamed. Yeah, no, you bob on, because we had to. We didn't see anyone when we were up there. Don't get me wrong, we didn't see anyone, but you could tell that we were starting to see rubbish and like McDonald's things, and you're thinking, oh, here we go. Yeah, there he is, Robert. I've sent you an invite, sweetheart. It should have popped up. If not, I'll just send it you again, and then it should come in. And anyone else who wants to jump in, just pop your email in the chat bar, man. You can jump on and have a gab with everybody.
I was down your end last Sunday.
Say it again.
I was down your end last Sunday.
Oh, right.
In your little patch of woodland.
What's it like?
It was quiet that end, to be fair, but it is always a bit quieter down there. It was nice.
I've not been able to see over the field.
But my end, it was just hammered with people and dogs and kids and walkers, and so there was no like little spot you could just sit for a minute and take it all in.
Yeah.
So I need to get out. I do need to get out.
Well, wait, are you still up for Phillips Hall on Saturday?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Right, so I've got a 2-manor and a spare one in case, because Glenn said he's going to try and come up from Stafford, so you might end up getting in mine, but it's not a bad 2-manor. It's well, if you do it, you can have a tent to yourself. But I've got like spare mats and spare bags, and Daz is going to bring a spare tent as well.
Nice one.
So they will be.
But like I said, the boy of mine took it to a festival, my dear, and it never came back. I just hope it's gone to a good cause and not got dumped in some skip somewhere. But you know,
that's Rob.
Here's our Robert.
Hello there. You all right?
Yeah. Oh, you sound like you've got a bad cold again.
No, I'm okay. Actually, I was just clearing my throat. I'm just seeing if I'm on with you.
Right, I'm going to monitor the chat.
Good evening, Robert.
Hey, Karen. Your camera's not working for some reason.
And I think mine's the same. We've just got these profile pictures.
Yeah, it's odd that my camera's not working. It usually does. Never mind.
No, I've been in garden all day, mate. I look like I'm black, and it's not. I'm just tan. So I'm
the same.
I was when we went up to meet the girls yesterday. She gave me loads of seeds, kind of heritage seeds. So that's what I did today. I thought I'm going to get them in. So I've been doing that all day. Well, Mark's been doing that, and I've been sitting in the chair watching him.
I've been gardening all day.
It's that kind of weather, isn't it?
It sure is. It sure is. So I've got that Salford leather look going on my face.
I have. That's what I look like. I look like a Zats one.
It's true. James, away and no one would see us.
The most recent report I've had, Jamie, was Bristol in January this year, and that was a Sasquatch seen from a train. Most recent audio is from March this year at Cannock in Hayes Heath. They're woodknocks and howls and dark moving figures, but the actual full-on sighting would be January 2018. So not that long ago. And I don't think we'll get one now for a few weeks or at least a couple of months, because we don't tend to get them that often. It's just that people are having remembered accounts, so that's why we've got so many coming in. I mean, I think we'd be lucky if we got 2 or 3 a year, in all honesty, because people are not seeing them every day, are they? So probably if we're lucky, we'll get another 1 or 2 up-to-date ones this year where they have a sighting, but I wouldn't imagine we'll get one. How can you tell bushcraft from other structures? Right. I've been to 4 different woodlands, and some are 30 miles apart, and I found odd tree lanes and teepees in each place. One woodland I heard 3 knots. There's a bit of a debate, Fuzzy Lou, on the structures, and Rob will agree with me when we say sometimes it's better to look for wild food, isn't it, Rob, than structure?
Yeah, absolutely. That's seems to give more of an indication of anything that's made and farmed is the edibles around.
Yeah, water first, and edibles. But as to try and answer the question, how can you? It's really hard to tell bushcraft from what they're leaving. Can you, Rob? Can you explain the structure at Phillips Park a little bit?
Yeah, well, that for me answered a lot of questions. The stuff that I pondered over. How do I know it's bushcraft? And I think if you find a structure that's been cleverly constructed within, for example, a rhododendron bush, which the one at Phillips Park is, it's out of the way. Most people wouldn't see it, and it's more of a hide and vantage point to look below and above. And also, you've got two entrances to it. There's a front and a back. So if you needed to slip out of it and to get in the undergrowth and out of the way, you've got that immediate access to do that. And that one at Phillips Park, it looks nothing like I've ever seen before. Because we've all seen them, these bushcraft. They're more closer to like paths, and
Yeah.
you know, there might be a playground not far away. You can tell it's the hands of kids and, you know, adult parents and things like that. And also, if there's litter around, if you might see a bit of litter on the floor, that tells you people's been there, and it's people that's done it.
Yeah.
Whereas the one at Phillips, it's undisturbed. I've been there back a few times, and there's no sign of litter, disturbances, or any sign of people being there. So that's what I learned from it anyway.
To me, that makes perfect sense. And the best thing you can do, Fuzzy Lou, if it's with one where it's like we just don't know, we're not sure, maybe it might be worth an idea just keeping an eye on it over the months and seeing if it changes or anything. The one at Phillips Park is it's a natural green interwoven. You wouldn't call it a structure, would you? It's kind of a domed. Not your typical A-frame, but bushcraft shelter that you tend to see. But the honest answer is we really don't know. So if you put yourself in the mindset of being wild and think, would I put myself right close to a path like this, other than the fact that it was quite advantageous to me? I have been looking at structure for years, and I didn't see one at Phillips Park. It looked like a bush to me. And until Rob actually pointed it out and took me round and into it, it was you had to be quite clever to get in there. And when we were in there, it was much warmer, and you could see out, but you couldn't see in. And it felt, there was a feeling to it, wasn't there, Rob, that it didn't feel man-made at all. We were more in awe of it than anything. It was more, wow, how's that been intertwined with that? There was nothing. It didn't look like an IKEA flat pack furniture shelter that you see. It was a thing of magic.
Yeah, it's a good point you make. That it's just the fact it looks like an actual living organ, like a living structure. It's part of the life of the rhododendron bush, how it's been woven into it.
Yeah,
and it's so cleverly concealed.
And yeah,
it's nothing. It's nothing like anything I've seen before. And what's there? Obviously, there's like an 80 kilo sleeper there. That's random. Where did the sleeper come from?
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Anyway, it's like you said. It puts you in awe being inside it, because once you're inside it, it's got like that real calming energy about it. You know, there's a presence about it, isn't it, Debs?
Yeah, it's something you can feel. I know it sounds like we're talking mumbo jumbo. It's kind of, you look for these structures in the beginning because it gives you an idea what's in the area. And as Chris has pointed out, you can get really decent structure where there is high GPA, where there is like litter and things, because obviously we're using the same areas. But if in doubt, take some photos of it and jump online and have a look and see what's on the bushcraft Google, and even send them me or one of the guys will have a look. Just take some photos and go back and visit it a couple of times. And what you're trying to look for is kind of like a hide more than a hut type structure. It would kind of be weaved with natural. Try and keep it green. That's what I've noticed. It's as if they bend and weave. It's a pity we can't get GPE on, because he's excellent with you're not fancy jumping on the live feed, Glenn. he understands the subtle differences that you get. Well, send them to me, and I'll have a good look at them, Fuzzy Lou, because I've been mad busy this week because we've been out, but I can have a look tomorrow. I'm just going to rest tomorrow. My legs are driving me mad. Well, yesterday was amazing, wasn't it? It was well worth it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, as we spoke while we were there, I've never been to a place like that. The terrain, the different types of trees. I mean, all that limestone, and it was ancient looking as well. And it was so dense, really dense woods. So there's plenty of hiding spaces. I mean, we even tested it out, didn't we? You know, Darren hid in the cracks of the caves, and Lola and Angela went behind the yew tree. We couldn't see them, and we were stood so close to them, but we could not see them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that where we're camping out, guys?
Oh, wish, Karen. We've got to get you up there. We had to go quite, but I don't know where it was. Where was it, Rob?
Oh, it's way past Lancaster, like near Carlisle, though, that way.
Do you know what it was?
No, sorry, I thought you were still going on about Phillips Park Hall.
It was exactly the same cars, but with granite.
Right.
You get what I mean? The area was exactly the same. It was mixed wood. There's loads of garlic down there. There's loads of food down there. There's like this natural brook that runs through the area. Oh, you'll love it. It's like fairyland when you're down there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This area where we went to yesterday was called Halton. So we stood on Halton Bank. How weird is that?
What?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Where did you go to school, Karen?
Halton Bank. Oh my God.
I thought
Stop it.
When I was there yesterday, I thought about that. I actually said it in the car.
Oh, no.
Halton Bank, that's where we went.
How weird is that?
It was like Drinkies would have been 1,000 years ago. Is the only way I can put it, without the houses and stuff. It was just beautiful. Knackering, absolutely knackering. And we
all fell over, didn't we? We all fell over. Yeah,
we did. Actually fell over. But like, even if we have to go on train, we will get you there, because the feel of it was, like I say, I didn't even want to have a cigarette when we was in that area. I actually walked. I feel like I'm missing out. Well, we just got to get you there, haven't we? Really?
I know. Just shout me, like I said.
I will.
Definitely up for this camping up there.
Oh, I can't
I'm looking forward to that.
I can't wait. The garlic, it's just the feel of the area. I don't know how to put it in words. Hiya, Johnny Bigfoot. Johnny understands about the feel of an area. It's just got that feel to it where...
I know. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I don't really know how to describe it. To me, it's like you just totally distress the second you get there.
I know that feeling when I go up to Castle Rigstone Circle. I feel like I'm disrespecting him, lighting a cigarette up, even though I always feel like I should have a piece smoked with him.
Yeah.
I still feel disrespectful. I still have to wait until I go back in the car and have that smoke, because when I'm in the circle, it just feels wrong. So, yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah, that was exactly what it was like. It was just too precious to...
Yeah.
It's rare you see a mix of trees in woods these days, isn't it? Where they're that old that there was ash, there was yew, there was beech, there was all kinds. And I was like, this is amazing. Everywhere I walked, there was hazelnut trees, which for us is amazing, isn't it, really? It's not something we ever see.
We don't see stuff like that every day, do we? Not here anyway, because they cut all the trees down, don't they? The best ones.
There's definitely cat in that area, because we found a rabbit head way up.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah, and we saw a cocked pheasant, where they just left the wings behind.
Yeah.
So there's definitely big cat in that area. We were seeing cat, like real signs. There was a lot of deer and a lot of rabbit scat everywhere. So it was like, yeah, it was just so regal out. I mean, there was a reason we went. And one of the girls took a photograph, and Darren spotted something on it. So we always say go back and take a comparison shot. So we went back and took the comparison shot, and there was nothing there. So it was a moment of like, oh my Lord. Yeah.
Wow. That was amazing. That picture is what she's got. Yeah.
Have you still got?
Yeah, and I'll ask her because she's on her way actually in the car. She said as soon as she gets home, she's going to jump on the chat. But I will ask her later if I can share it with you and let you have a look. It's kind of I don't really know how to describe it other than it looks like a Bigfoot but made out of energy, walking over the hill.
Yeah, that's the first thoughts I had there.
That's what he looks like.
It was like an energy Bigfoot.
You see, that's like what we saw that night.
Yeah.
And people have asked me, was it energy?
Could have been.
And it wasn't energy, it was a solid form.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like the other guy.
Yeah,
he's convinced that it's energy.
Yeah,
I get where you're coming from because I've seen energy. I see energy all the time, as we've discussed before. You know, I see shadow people, I see spirit. This was a full form, flesh and blood creature.
Moving, yeah.
It was running at speed, nearly as fast as the car. We was on the motorway. I said it was Bigfoot. The girls said it was something different, but you know, we'll beg to differ. But as I said, we all saw it at different angles because we was all sat in different positions in the car, and all saw it at like seconds apart, so to speak. But when you see a form, you know the difference.
Yeah,
but you can tell by the form how big, small, or what kind of it is. And if you said that form took the form of Bigfoot, then that's what you saw. No one can question you.
No, that's it. That's it. It's what
even though they like to question us.
Well, yeah, you can't. You can't describe what it looks like in your head, can you? It's impossible to get it out.
No, do you know the only way to describe it is like this crazy thing what's going around, and most guys will have seen it by now. This Yana and Laurel.
Yeah.
Yana, it's exactly the same. You know what you saw, and you might have saw different, but I know what I saw.
Yeah.
You know what you saw. You know, it's like Yanni and Laurel. It's like the black and blue dress, the black and gold
dress.
That
dress,
it's just the same. We all see things.
It's just personal.
In our mind. It's personal. Of course, it's personal.
That's what he doesn't seem to get. I think he thinks I'm just being a cow by not saying, "Oh yeah, just write a book on the experience." But they're not my experiences to share. They belong to each individual witness. And you have the respect of, if you wanted to write a book about your thing, you'd do it your bloody self, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course you would.
You just have that kind of respect and not, pee on my doorstep kind of thing.
Yeah.
But maybe he's been raised wrong. I don't know.
Can't have been. We're all from the same area.
Towards it's second nature, and it's to think, well, I'm not going to go in someone else's research area, or I'm not going to tell a man 100 miles away what he saw when I weren't there. I mean, we've got witnesses from 1998, like in Harwood, that are big, beefy fellas, and this little weedy guy's going to go, "Oh no, you never." They wouldn't do it offline.
No.
Don't you? You know that in real life they'd be hiding behind a column, going, "Yeah, what he said," because that's kind of what they like, and like it's really refreshing to be able to say it out loud.
I say it out loud anyway. That's who I am. I don't care if anyone says you're a nut job. I'm a self-proclaimed witch. So straight away, everyone wants to burn me, as we know, burn me at the stake.
I don't want to burn
the crazy witch that sees Bigfoot. You can't get any worse than that, can you? But he did question. I was quite open, as you know. I told him straight that was what I saw, and he did question it. He did question whether it was flesh and blood or a bin bag. Whoops.
Well, it doesn't matter. He questioned whether the sky were blue or grey.
I just said to him at the end of the day, you believe what you want to believe, and I respect you for that. So just give a little respect back for me. If you want to think I'm crazy, that's fine, but don't keep calling me out that I'm crazy, because I could call you out in the same way that you're crazy for what you believe.
You don't genuinely like sit there 12 times a day going, "He's a tosser, he's a tosser." But kind of that's what he does with us, and it's just like every now and again we are going to snap back. You can't. Yeah, that's me. So just thought, I'm just like the mental Irishman. Let's just like keep having a laugh, because they're the ones sat there banging their head against the computer screen at the end of the day.
I feel happier knowing that people feel comfy coming to you, that they're not afraid of coming to you, because they know that you're respectful and that you won't use their story unless they want you to. And because you make that clear from day one, don't you? That if they don't want you to share, then you won't.
I won't do it. I'd rather have no subbers. I'd rather have no friends on Facebook. The people that have like trusted me with that story, that's what matters to me.
Yeah,
and that's what it's all about for me. Yeah. And it's just I maybe it's because I'm a witness as well. I don't know. You think, no, it's my story. And like Jamie is talking and he's talking about his dog jumping because the dog had seen a deer. What right have I to jump on that and say, all right, I'm going to stick that in a book? That'll get me a few likes on YouTube. That'll give me a bit of, insight. People will buff me up a bit. It's just, to me, it's just mental. It's like what you put out there is what. So I'd just rather not be there. Yeah, because it must be like the fun that we had, like when we get together and we're all together and we're having a laugh. Like, you can't beat that. You can't buy that. It's not money in the world.
Yeah, it's so true that. So true, Deborah. I mean, I was thinking yesterday, it was just a nice free-flowing day in his own pace. I mean, Angela gave us some seeds. We had a nice walk around in the woods. We went back to Daniela's. We had a coffee. Then we went to the river. And it was just so nice. And the kids loved it. We were all sharing the moment together. And the important thing is, we're out there. That's the most important thing of all this, is just being there.
We didn't spend a penny. We took our own dinners, didn't we?
Yeah, we all had our own sandwiches and flasks. And, we had a walk. We had a sit down and chill. And we had a walk again. And then we had another sit down and chill. And we're talking and we're listening to each other. And that's what it's all about for me. It's just getting out there. And it's like, and the difference this year to last year for me is I'm actually meeting people now. It's actually real people behind the YouTube name. And we're regular people. We're just ordinary people with this love and passion of this life in nature. And it's all part and parcel of it. We get the signs and, you hear the sounds of the birds and the brightness of the sun. It's all these sensations you're experiencing. And to do that together, I'm an happy man. And as you said, Deborah, you can't put money on that.
No, you can't.
It's so important, isn't it? It's so lovely.
You can write as many books as you want in the world. But if you're only ever in that chair, at that desk, what use are those words? If you're not putting an experience behind them, do you know what I mean? You can write as many words as you want, but it's a falsity to that, to me. If you're not out there and you're not taking part and you're not having a walk, how can you comment? How can you have an opinion?
That's my point, always my point with him.
It's like
I even offered for him to come and walk with me, but he didn't want to walk with me. He just wanted to know where my area was so he could send his research team. I've never claimed Bigfoot in my area.
It's just what he does is he did that with me in the beginning. Susie's asked me a question. She doesn't understand what we mean with the big bag reference. There's a gentleman in the UK who, if you have a Bigfoot sighting, you are supposed to go and report it to. But unfortunately, he thinks that what we are seeing are garbage bags and we are mixing them up with 8-foot, hairy, ape-looking, massively muscled creatures. I'm not sure why.
Conclusions, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the answer for himself. I cannot tell you what he's.
Bloody hell! A bloody bin bag's a Bigfoot. How did he come to that?
Well,
what a knobhead!
I have invited him on to explain his theory, but unfortunately, he just declines my invitations. But I'm happy for him to come on anytime and explain his theory. I will give you all a warning beforehand so you can take paracetamol, because you will have a migraine at the end of it. And I will do everything I can to, as John says in the chat, you're right, John, he is. He's an absolute toe rag. But I just think I'm going to leave him behind. It's been going on since 2015. He's still banging the old tin drum. No one's listening, you know. So he's there in his little I hate Debbie Hatswell and all the Bigfoot researchers in the UK club. It's keeping him quiet. It's keeping him out of trouble and out of my way and quiet. Well, no, I've never seen an 8-foot bin bag either, Shane. And you're a witness to 2 of them. Yeah, not just one. You saw an adult and a smaller one. Yeah, how can he tell you that was a bin bag? It's just laughable.
It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous when you hear things like that.
Yeah.
Look, these people, they're out there. They saw something. Right, something that wasn't of the regular day-to-day world that we see, you know, day in, day out. It was something else, something unique, something words it's difficult to describe and explain, but it's real. It's real, and even now, I still struggle to describe what I saw.
Yeah,
and what Owen saw. It's virtually impossible to put it down and to say, oh yeah, that's what it is. It must be that. It's such a hard task.
You can't do that. You can't do that to yourself for a start, because then you're accepting another man's truth, aren't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's no point anybody telling me what I saw, because sometimes I'm not even sure it was a Bigfoot I saw. The only thing I know that I saw was something that looked like a man and an ape combined. Whether it's a woodwoose, I feel more comfortable with that name. It feels more like that to me, that like our own type of Bigfoot, Sasquatch type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the wild man or the woodwoose, that's kind of how he feels to me. So that's how I think of him in my head, and that works for me, and I'm happy with that. But it doesn't work for everyone, so there's no point me saying to people, well, it doesn't fit in my parameter, you know, so I'm not going to bother listening to you. That's just ridiculous. I'm just trying to get Chris into it. Chris is trying to jump in. I'm sending him an invite. But yeah, it's each to their own, isn't it, really?
But the thing I must point out is this, is the variety, the difference of this creature, what people see. It's not just one thing, it's many different things. It's like what you saw is completely different to what I saw. And it's funny, actually, when I was looking at Danielle's picture, it was like, you know, and Karen mentioned this before, like an energy Bigfoot. In a way, that's kind of what I saw. It wasn't a solid form. It was like bright grey. It was like translucent, reflecting the light. But I seen movement. It moved from left to right, and whatever it was big. And then within a click of a finger, it was gone.
Yeah.
So to me, that just shows like what you saw, what I saw, what many other people saw. It's not one thing we're dealing with here. It's a variety of whatever it is.
Yeah. So we have to listen to all of the theories, and there will be theories that will come up in the future, and we need to take them on board and have a real good look at them, because I don't want 10 pieces of 1,000-piece jigsaw. I want the pieces, the box, the picture on the front, and everything, so I can work it out for myself. That's how I work, you know. And I think we all do. Probably why we're doing this, because we are all not the type of people that are going to be told what we saw. None of, you know, we're not like that. So it's probably, I worry about the ones out there who don't have a voice. You know what I mean? And are a bit worried too. I'm just working something out. I've just been asked, is there a relevance? Has anybody looked at a relevance between glyphs and runes? And the quick answer to that is yes. The glyphs match runes, Wicca signs, the Vinca language, Nordic runes, most of your basic runes, to be honest, and some Native American Navajo sign, and some of the old gypsy patterns. But there are only so many patterns you can make with sticks, isn't there, before they repeat. So look everywhere. They even match the 13 moon calendar. If you look at the 13 moon calendar, each one of those for the month is an actual glyph that people are finding out there. They also match solar systems. Some people have matched them to that. Only certain ones, I don't know. Yeah, only certain ones, but there's no complete alphabet out there. There is no alphabet for these glyphs. We don't know what they are. We think we know what some of them are. And these people like Johnny in the background working away on them all the time. Because it's new, innit? It's new for all of us, this really. There's no experts among the British guys. We all just kind of help each other out.
The important thing is it's just being out there, like I said before, it's being out there. And I guess for me personally, and this is just me I'm talking about, I've given up trying to work out what it is. Maybe I don't need to know.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe some things are meant not to be known.
Exactly.
However, that still will not stop me going out there and experiencing. And every so often, something magical will present itself because I'm simply there.
Yeah.
So
every time I go out, I know exactly what you mean, Robert. Exactly what you mean.
Just the way.
Every time I go out, something magical happens. Yeah. Something that you can't explain. I don't mean see Bigfoot or whatever. I mean just something in the forest that's magical that you can't explain to anybody else. They have to be there, see it, feel it, experience it with you. I'm exactly on the same wavelength as you, Robert, when it comes to being outside. It's just, I say you can't explain it, can you? You just can't explain it.
I think Angela did yesterday. She said something along the lines of, it's not us that don't work in this world. It's this world that doesn't work for us. We should have just been born 14,000 years ago and we would have been completely happy, you know?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have had this. I think we all feel energy, and when we're out of the woods, the energy is that hype and that manic. Did it kind of... do you know what I mean? It amps you up, doesn't it? So for me, it's just, I was mental for years because of that. Years and years and years I was mental because of that. And it was only when I learned to go back into the woods that I calmed myself down, if you get what I mean. And that's the only way I can put it.
Being in the woods for me, when I was a teenager, the woods there at the back of your dad's.
Yeah.
When my mum used to get on my nerves like they do when you're a teenager. I used to run off up to there in the woods on my own, you know, as a teen back then. It weren't scary as it is now, but I used to sit in there for hours.
Yeah.
And I never understood what the pull was. I always went to the same place, and I still go there now. When I cut through that way, I still go to the same place. The pull's still there. But as a kid, it was just my secret place, so to speak.
Yeah.
But still now when I've got, but I still get that, for want of a word, that electric feeling.
Yeah.
And my woods are not they're not anything special, guys. These trees have grown from a tip. It's called Berryfield Tip.
Yeah.
And the woods have grown on top of the tip. So it's not what you'd call a magical place because it's a rubbish dump, but the woods have grown up around it. But for me, being in there, it's my special place, my grounding place. It's
because nature's reclaimed it.
Yeah.
You know, Karen, we were driving past there last night, weren't we, Debs?
Yeah.
You know, we drove past the front of Black Leach, and we were just saying, I said, you know, it's such a lovely little spot, that Black Leach. And you see photos from like the 30s of what it used to be, and you look at it now, especially in the summer. And then you got the little lake there, and the woods of it's like nature's took it back, hasn't it? Nature's reclaimed that land. And when I take the kids to Black Leach, and it's a lovely spot. It's just so nice. It's like a little oasis of wonder, isn't it?
I remember it before. I don't know if Deb remembers it before. When I was a teenager back in the 80s, and where the highest point is, what they call the highest point, the first beginning of the walk. If you come in through the gates, that's the highest point. Now there on that hill was big like domes, like a big dye works, and the dye used to pour into the pond itself. and it was absolutely manca, but it was full of wildlife. It was full of newts and frogs and fish and everything, and the woods was always there. And then it just, there was burnt out cars and all that. But then when they bought it, when City of Salford bought it and turned it into what it is now, Blackleach, I was part of that.
Yeah.
I was part of the 10-year celebration. We did a massive parade, got all the kids involved. And as time's gone by, the planting what they did to take it back to how it was originally, so to speak. And then it's just magical. The whole lot of it. You can't explain when you say Blackleach Country Park. It's absolutely massive. I could walk from Blackleach Country Park all the way to Clifton, all the way, and keep going. Just a few roads.
That's it, Karen. It's you've seen signs there, haven't you? You've seen the signs of Blackleach. It's on that green corridor.
I read the runes anyway, like Deb does, and I've looked down on the floor and looked at the sticks, and straight away I've seen that rune, and I know that symbol. I know that symbol because it's in all my books. And then I think to myself, well, could that naturally fall like that? I question it as well. I stand there and question it. I didn't always take photographs, but I do now.
We should.
And I look at it and think, can that fall naturally? Could that have fell in that position? Is another nature person like us, have they done it for their own reason, their own special reason? You just don't know, but they're there, and unless you recognise them symbols or them rune signs or that ancient text, you don't question it. You just step over them twigs. But when you've seen it before, and then you think, well, why would someone do that? Because I wouldn't do that unless I was performing a ritual there. I would not put any sticks down or any rune or anything. So you think, well, there's someone doing a ritual like me, there's other crazy people like me, obviously. You just don't know. So you have to question it. It's not human.
I mean, while we're on that subject.
What is it? You tell me, what is it?
We don't know. We might not ever know. But, I mean, Chris has joined us now. So, I mean, he's out constantly looking and finding. But honest answer is we don't know what glyphs are. We just don't know. I mean, Chris is on the totally other end of that corridor that we're talking about now. Yeah. Are you there, Chris?
Hi, Deborah. Sorry, Deborah. I'm going to have to pop off the hangout. I'll rejoin. I've got to call my mum. She just texted me, so I'm just going to check she's okay. Okay, I'll be on shortly. Okay. All right, I'll be back shortly. Okay. Yeah. Cheers.
So Daniela's joined us now, and Susie. So we've got quite a few in tonight. It's absolutely amazing. We've got Shane with us, and Shane had similar encounters as me, but he saw full-on bodied. So it's probably better if I let Shane explain rather than putting words in my mouth. If you don't mind, Shane, would you tell the guys on the chat what happened to you and your brother when you were younger?
Yeah, can you hear me, Debs?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah, what happened to me is it was some holidays, probably around about August time. And my dad had an allotment down in Mearsbrook in Sheffield, and we in some holidays we used to go down to allotment with my dad. And one day we decided, when we go down to allotment, let's have a rope swing round the tree to make a rope swing. Anyway, my brother put it up, and we could hear some howling, and we could hear something coming through undergrowth. I thought, what's that? Anyway, it was getting louder and louder, and all of a sudden, my brother's up just finished putting rope swing up, and it was on the branch of my brother. I never seen my brother jump down that tree. He literally went down the swing, and we ran like you'll never known it. But as we were going, we saw a little one across the road, across from the street, across the stream, like, and it was like on fours, running like a chimpanzee.
Yeah.
But we did. All I saw of it was its feet and its legs. The one up the what you call it. I didn't see its face, but I just saw its feet and its legs. And
Yeah.
the younger one looked like a smaller Bigfoot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And you went back the next day, didn't you, if I remember?
Yeah, I went to retrieve the rope swing and it was all ripped up with fur all over it.
Are you there, Chris? Oh, I've lost sound now. Can you hear him, Karen? I can't hear him.
No, I can't hear him. I couldn't hear him before.
Right, I'll just leave him a message in chat. Basically, what he was building they were building dens as kids down in Catwood, which is Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Him and his brother and his brother's mate. And I had a look at the area last night, and it's like kind of like the back fields here. Little stream running through it, but loads of allotments, loads and loads of allotments.
We've got allotments up here on Blackleach, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's in that kind of area. So what he's seen is he's been one higher up in the tree, and that's made they've come down that road like rapid, ran up the bankings like on the rocks, and they've got across the stream, and the smaller ones on the other side of the stream in like a chimpanzee kind of stance. You know, when they get on the knuckles.
Yeah.
And they obviously they've like kind of bricked it and legged it home, but him and his brother have gone one way and the mate's gone the other way, and they've kind of met back up at his dad's house, like kind of thing. And then he's had other experiences. You can hear Shane. Why can't I hear him then? Uh-oh. Let me just check.
Can you hear me, Deb?
Yeah, I can now.
All right. I was just letting you two speak.
All right. No,
I heard Shane anyway, Deb.
Oh,
Did you not hear him?
No, he must have gone quiet for me for a second. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so sorry, you carry on, Shane. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, other experiences. I've been chased by a big cat, and I would say it was like a panther, puma type thing. It was black. I was on my push bike, and I was going at full speed at one point, and it was still keeping up with me. So I hissed it, and it ran into undergrowth. But all I could see was its green eyes looking back at me. So I just went, I'm getting out of here.
Chris, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I had the wrong microphone switched on. Sorry.
Right. Because Shane, it might be worth you and Shane chatting, because do you remember the accounts that you sent me of the Moreland Beast? Kind of Mermaid's Pond. Kill the Scout, is it called, Shane?
Kinder Scout.
That's the one there. A guy who saw a bipedal dark figure going uphill towards I'll get the name wrong, it's like the Granish Stones or the Grunish Stones, something like that.
Was that the guy who contacted me first?
Yes, yeah.
All right, yeah.
Well, Shane's had similar experiences in those areas as well.
Right, okay, that's very interesting then, isn't it?
Yeah. Chris, is that Chris?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, Chris. I've wild camped up at a place called Burbage Moor. There's a forest what's been deforested out there. It's all what you call it, trees. Oh, I forgot what you call it. Fir trees. They take them down because the root system's too shallow and wind's getting in. And we're camping at this like forest edge with a bloke I know. And we built a bushcraft shelter. And in the morning I got up, to go foot Call of Duty. As I got up, I was looking into woods and I could see this tree just checking one side to other. I'm thinking, no wind here. I did my business and got back in. Never thought no about it because I was shattered.
That's the last thing you'd think of.
Yeah.
But the tree shaking fits with
Jason.
With Jason's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Again, and perhaps Darren's stuff if there's any more to that. I don't know whether Darren's looked any further into that video he shot or not.
I'm unsure. Daniela's in the chat. Did you do any more about the one moving tree, Daniela? If you can remember. Hopefully she can hear me and pop something up in the chat. She said it's breaking up for her, so I've just told her to refresh, to be honest. Because my audio is great now. I can hear everybody. I've never been up to Snake Pass, but I know Fell Wanderer has, hasn't he, Shane?
Yeah,
You'll
yeah.
be talking over yourself, babe.
Oh, right. Okie dokie.
Has everyone gone quiet, or is it just me?
I think there's something wrong with the audio.
I'm still here.
Yeah, I
You've
mean,
gone.
it seems to, it's timing out. Not, it's better now than it was like a few minutes ago.
You're on mute, aren't you, Debs? It's showing up as mute.
Yeah, she got mute on.
Oh, sorry about that.
Right.
It seems like everybody's talking over each other.
Right. Well, I'm going to sit back for a bit and let people gab so I can. Well, it's clearly me just jumping in.
I'm just having a look at this wood. What did you say it's called, Shane?
Burbage Moor.
Burbage Moor.
Yes. Look for Fox House, and it's just past there. If you're going to look at a map, if you're looking on a map, best thing to do is for cars walk up, and look straight across to your left, and it's dead in line with that. Carswell is an fort, an ancient fort on Burbage Moor. In line with that.
Is that Buxton?
No, it's not Buxton. It's it's Derbyshire. Before you get into Haversige.
I'll have to have a proper look at it when I got later on. And so, how often do you camp out? Have you done? What is it? Just the odd wild camp up there? Or do you do it often?
I do it quite often. I go about 2 times a year, or with myself, or with my brother and a nephew. I think last time I went with my brother and my nephew, I've been wanting. He's in other with my nephew, and what you call it? I was fast asleep, and my brother said something walked through the camp last night. I said, "What you mean?" He said, "Did you eat?" And I went, "No, I was fast asleep." Because, well, I felt a big fat leg push up against my arm, and I went, "You're joking." We've never been back to that spot again.
Really? Not me going back either. Well, not me anyway.
Well, that's what we want, innit? A bit of action.
Yeah, but that's right near. That's up at a place called Lodgemorn. It's on Snake Pass.
Yeah.
Well, Manchester Road.
I think it's on. Is it on south of the Snake Pass? Isn't it?
Yeah. Look for Riverline Dams, and you'll see a forest, and that's where we're camping.
Isn't that where mine was?
Not
same area where I saw mine.
Yeah, not too far, Karen. It's same corridor, yeah.
Yeah.
Between Sheffield, Nottingham and Manchester are on that corridor there. Yeah, they're all linked, these accounts.
Because mine was just before Leeds, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right up on the moors.
We want M6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, A1, M6, that area.
Yeah.
Because we was coming back from, I can't even remember the place now. But yeah, it's the same. It's the moors that way, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, there's been a lot of sheep kills. A lot. 1,500 sheep kills in the last 18 months.
Not in that area?
In that area, along this corridor. Kind of from the northeast all the way down to the Yorkshire Dales at the bottom. and a lot of them are being found, and they're completely in half, and the innards and the back end is gone. But it looks like they've been sliced in half.
Pulled apart.
Yeah, like that. And there's a lot of that going on, and they've put it. The government have put it down to dog attack. But there's no blood on the ground. There's no organs or pluck or anything like that.
Why would the dog wouldn't take the organs? They just rip it apart.
Exactly. You'd have blood and guts and gunk everywhere.
Yeah, of course you would.
No, completely clean. Completely clean. And it looks like they've been lasered in half, and you could. There's only like the top of the spine in there, Karen, and the rib cage. There's no organs. There's nothing.
That's definitely not a dog.
Where were that reported, Deb? Where did you get those numbers from? Is it online?
I'll pull it up. I've bookmarked it. Yeah, I can get them online. It came up in one of the local newspapers, so I wanted to go and check it, and I did. I looked on Google and I found it was 1,500 dog attacks. So I'll pop it over to you later, because I've been checking it out, and these accounts of these strange sheep kills started in Skerry, right on the top of, like further north in Inverness.
Yeah.
Right up there, and round about the 80s, and they've worked their way down that corridor and down the northeast coast to round about these times, and then you've got the same thing happening in the southwest.
That's a massive figure for dog attacks.
Exactly. But
massive.
Exactly. That's what I thought. I thought that is unbelievable. You can't put all of those down to stray dogs.
No.
The number was somebody's asking the number. It was 1,500. And I bet they've rounded that up. So
yeah, definitely.
because it's not going to just come to 1,500 dead, is it? So it was in the newspaper, and I thought, I'm going to have a go. So I started looking at this scary beast, and then that goes to the north, and then they call them shucks. So it's this pattern of deaths and kills of sheep. Damien found a fleece with bleached bones within the fleece, all tidied up. You found something like that, didn't you, Shane?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. We found, me and my brother, around woods around we live, because allotments, there's about 4 different spots or allotments what surround those woods. Anyway, we found what you call it, dead chickens, you name it, we found it off allotments in like a spot. And just not one carcass or two, quite a lot. Like it's just been eaten there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just unbelievable.
So it could be. I mean, that doesn't sound like a cat attack either, does it? Because you'd be able to see the wounds, and they would leave more of a mess, you would imagine.
Yeah. It's in the, I've just pulled it up, Chris. It's in the Spokesman. It's a farmer's newspaper. Right?
Wouldn't a cat take it away though? Like completely take it away? And most big cats take the food away. But when you watch all the wildlife programs,
and
they drag the food away,
tree, don't they?
Or they take them up a tree, yeah. So they wouldn't be like it. And even if they did, they had dragged it away, it wouldn't. They wouldn't just take specific.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd eat the lot, wouldn't they? You'd expect a big cat to eat as much as it could and then take it away for its young, or just take it. I don't know. It just seems a bit odd, doesn't it? Even if it was big cats, even if it was big cats, that's still a high number.
And if it were wild dogs, Debs, dogs hunt in a pack like wolves, so. Yeah. That's one thing about.
And at the same time, for a wild man or Bigfoot, that's a lot of sheep, isn't it?
Yeah.
For them, I mean, they're usually. Why such a pattern like that? What is because if it was specifically Bigfoot, you would generally he's less obvious, isn't he? He sort of goes under the radar.
And you can kind of tell the poach kills, because normally on a poach kill, all the meat's took. They either take the entire animal and they'll leave the head for the farm. It's just
Tagging.
endurance there. Yeah. Or you'll find that there'll just be like a fleece left and the spine connected to the head, because they want the meat. They take the meat in the eyes, but there's always a bit there. You know, the stomach and that, the bit you don't. That plucks to be gone. That's what ties in my mind from what I know from sheep husbandry. The pluck is, sheep go in through the belly, don't they? If I'm right, arse end or the belly, because it's the softest area. Yeah, it's softest area on the body.
Mm.
So you tend to get a lot of a mess with a cat kill because of the. But normally they bite the neck and take the body off, don't they?
Yeah.
Just I don't know why there's so many of them, and it's just I didn't know it until I started looking. I got into the Scary Beast and I thought I'm going to have a look, because where you live, Chris, between you and Karen, there are 20 accounts of the Bolton Beast.
All right. Okay.
And it mostly up on, Blackrod and Moses Gate.
Yeah.
Even the headmistress at the school saw it and got the kids to look out of the window and, oh, look, there it is. And they all described this big, black, panther-like cat. The last woman to report it was 2016, and she said it came up to the bonnet on her car. No?
That's just put me off walking up there. On my own.
Well, the thing with cats is they won't buy the odd. You won't even see them.
I was up there, with Austin. A few months back, we went right round the reservoir. So yeah, I could imagine a big cat being up there, to be fair, because once you've walked around that reservoir and you've got all that pine woodland, and it's just like pine forest everywhere up there. So yeah, I could because there's loads of sheep up there anyway, isn't there? It's just full of them.
If they can thrive and find enough food and enough shelter, then why can't a wild person?
You see, you've made me think about what I saw there that time I told you about,
Yeah.
That's made me question, because like I said, it was fast. But that's made me question what that was now. Now you said that. Because I didn't even think about big cats up that end.
Well, yeah, because they're being reported. It might have been a little carpool, I don't know. I'll pull the report up for you, because I actually spoke to the girl herself. Her mum phoned me and I said, do you mind me talking to her? Because it's so unusual for people to see a massive big black puma-like cat. And it was
up there. You can why not?
Well, that's what I thought. I thought I'll have a look on Google and see if it's out there. So it's kind of been picked up by the major newspapers, this Bolton Beast. And I was quite shocked myself when it said how many people. And it wasn't like over 50 years. It was only like a 15-year period where they'd had these 20 cited reports. So it's like, it's got to be more than just the one cat.
Definitely.
But I mean, I don't know cats, I'll be honest. It's not my forte, is it? Wildman's my forte. I'm not. But do you not think, Chris, that matches more with the UFO stuff?
Yeah, I think. Well, do you know what? So, since I interviewed Steve this week, didn't you? Steve Mera.
Yeah.
I think, I think he's onto something with his theories. And I know we've teetered on it and talked about it, and people throw everything in the pot, don't they, with this stuff? And I think they might just be right, because he reckons it's all linked somehow. Everything is linked, and he reckons, like you said, and well, a lot of people have said, the magnetic field anomalies, magnetic anomalies.
Yeah. That
appears to be at the center of all this stuff, whether it's UFOs, cats, Bigfoot, bloody werewolves, you name it. All that weird, anything bloody weird, really. Even suicides, even stuff like that, missing people, suicides. He thinks there's some. He calls it phenomenology.
Yeah.
And it's the study of all these things
Together. Yeah.
He reckons looking at one piece of the puzzle, you're just not gonna get it.
Yeah.
Not that we'll ever get it. I don't think we're ever going to get it, but he reckons by looking at all the factors like sheep kills and weird mutilations, and it's more about pretty much actually, you know, we're not that far off with what we've discussed well, you've been discussing it a long time, but all the stuff we talk about in all these chats that we have, we're pretty much on it, you know, like in regards to like the areas and the corridors and the magnetic anomalies and the ancient burial grounds and all that kind of stuff. You know, we're on it. It's just, I just think it's a big task, isn't it? It's just a massive task, and it takes more of a scientific approach than we can manage with our so few numbers at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
There's so few of us. You know, and it's really hard as well, because you try telling me, Chris, right, your job is you just stick to that one thing, and I'm not going to do it.
Yeah,
exactly. Just because there's so much other stuff. If you come across a print, that's me. I'm done then. I'm off that, whatever that job was, and I'm on that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happens. It's probably the same with Glenn and Michael with the stick signs and Karen with the symbols and the runes and all that kind of stuff. So it's really hard. You've got to be very disciplined and structured to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got that at present.
I go off with a thing, just get lost. Why I'm even out.
There's a bad echo now. Have you turned your mute thing, Karen, just in case?
Hang on. I've lost you out.
Yeah, because I can hear you, but you're echoing.
Hang on.
Right, can you guys hear her?
No.
I heard it, but she's got very bad echo.
Yeah, it might just be right.
How's that? Is that any better?
That's better.
Yeah.
A lot better.
Right, I'm just going to jump Robin again.
When I go out, you couldn't give me a task because I just go off with the fairies. One thing, I'm gone. I'm like, laters. And then that's like, what did I come out for? Hang on. Where's my book? So, yeah, you couldn't give me a task because there's too much out there for me. Too much gets in my head, and that's it. I even forget that I've got kids and that I live in a house. I actually go back 14,000 years and I become that blue-faced Celtic Salford girl.
I think that's what we have to do.
Yeah, just fit naturally. Just let it work itself, and we should end up going naturally where we're meant to be, maybe.
I went on a school trip last week with some 8-year-old kids to Chester, and we did the old, you know, how the Romans came and invaded, and
Bastard Romans.
And I have to sit on my tongue, and when they start going on about the Celts and Boudica, and I'm like, oh, stop teaching the kids about the Romans, you know, such a black Romans. I have to go and hide in the toilet. I'm just going toilet race because I can't cope with this woman making out like the Romans are the best thing since sliced bread. I just want to tell the kids about the blue-faced Celts, and they're more interesting. We should be learning about them, not them.
Yeah.
We should be off with the fairies. Like Robert takes his kids out, I take my kids out, as we know. But now I'm rubbish at all that. Let's do it this way. Let's do it that way. There's no way. There's only your way when you're out there. That's it. It's just your way.
I think
whatever you find, whatever you can share, then you share it.
I think the answer lies back in the past.
Yeah.
I do. I don't. It's just a feeling I've got. I think that's been taken from us for a reason. We've lost our culture, our stories, our skills, and I think we've got to go back to that to find the answers.
I agree with you. Totally agree with you. I think that's like just listening to her going on about the Romans now. They changed everything. The majority of what we know now comes from them. But what about before then? We had all that stuff before then. And that's where it all is. That's like you, that's where it all lies. And you have to tune in. That sounds really guys. What I do go off in there is you've got to be tuned in. When you're out there, you know, are you with like-minded people? You don't tune in. I've been out with people. Well, no, and they just don't feel it. They don't see it, they don't get it, they don't smell it, taste it, whatever. You've got to be in tune with it to be able to see it. Whether it's all on the same ley line, the same. I don't understand all that, as you know. That's far beyond me, all that scientific stuff. But you've got to be able to tune into it, to feel it, to see it. And there's a lot of people who walk in the countryside with the dog, and that's all they do. They just walk the dog. They don't see anything else around them. And you have to be part of it to see it. And that's why the majority of people who have sightings or whatever is because they're tuned into the surroundings. That's what I feel. That's how I see it.
Yes, good point, that Karen. Hello there, I'm back again. You all right? Yeah, it's nice to hear you say that, Karen. You got to be there to see it. And remember last night, Debs, when we were driving through Walking, and it was just totally dead. Yeah, everybody's was at McDonald's, right? So it's like, you know, I think the majority of people, they're completely unaware that there's woods even there to go walking in. And round our towns, we've got all these lovely green corridors and these magical spots to go visiting and to enjoy. Yet it's not even in a lot of people's point of attention to do that in the first place, is it?
I think people think that because we all believe in what we believe in, whatever it is, that every time I go out for a walk, I'm looking for him, I'm looking for something. I don't look for anything. If you're looking, you never see it. You never get, if you know, when you're searching for something, you find it. You always have to sit back and think about it. Think about where you are. And when you absorb that moment, wherever you are, then you'll see not necessarily Bigfoot or a cat or a werewolf or whatever. You'll see stuff that you've never seen before. And then you can go back and you'll see different stuff. You won't see the same things. You'll see different stuff. And if you're looking up to see a shadow or a real flesh and blood creature of whatever description, then you should absorb that moment for what it is, because you might never ever get that moment again. Some people will look in, and we know that people out there who see them here and feel them every single day of the week. But I've seen things. I've seen two different things. That one I'm absolutely sure of. The other one I'm not. And now they've mentioned the cat. It's made me think again. But I saw it because I felt it, because I was absorbed in that moment. But I might never, ever, ever see it again.
Well, that's okay.
But that's fine. I'm fine with that. I'll still see the fairies. I'll still see the pixies. I'll still see the witches. I'll still see all that. But that's part of my realm. To be able to see a flesh and blood hominid creature, or whatever you want to call it, that one I can't explain. I've seen a table move right across the room with my fingers on it, and I know I didn't move it. I've seen lots of crazy things that no one will ever believe. That's fine. I don't care. I'm not interested in what other people believe that I don't care. I know what I see.
You're breaking up again, Cass.
Sorry, sweetheart.
You're breaking up a bit. We've had a question in the chat, and it was, why do we think that people are seeing them more? Does anybody want to take that question?
Well, my personal point on that is, I definitely feel that more people are questioning reality. More people are questioning reality for a start. And when that happens, is your outlook changes. As soon as your outlook changes, that's when the experiences start to come in flow.
Yeah.
And it's growing into it. The awareness of this bipedal creature, for example, is growing throughout the country.
Yeah.
And people thinking, yeah, there's got to be more to it. So then they're going out and being in the woods. So I think that, for me, answers that. We're in a time of change now.
Yeah.
People understand that the world is inverted. The world is meant to distract you.
Yeah.
The world is designed to take you away from what's natural, because we're all spiritual beings. And people are understanding that this is just all a game. It's a construction. You know, you go into work. What? So I've got to work all week and then that's it. Just live for the weekend.
Yeah.
They're sick and tired of what's on the TV. It's the same old regurgitated information that comes out. So people are wising up to it. So I think that possibly could do with the fact that the accounts, the sightings, and is increasing. It's because the word's got out, and we have this outlet now, the internet. I think the internet is an Achilles heel to the powers that be, because now we can get information out. It's widely available, whereas 10, 15 years ago it wasn't. Exactly. That's right. On the one hand, people say, "Oh well, it's just more distractions to get you looking at a screen." But on the other hand, it's getting information to people. So if you want to find something out, it's there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's opening you up to different worlds like you never thought that was possible. You're speaking to people who've got knowledge about things that you've looked up in books or you've seen on documentaries on the telly. But now you're getting to speak to people, say like-minded people or whatever, and you're seeing that the reality is not what they tell you it is. It's not what they tell you it is. So I said it the other week about the spider's web was going to take over the world, as the prophet said, and destroy us. But I don't think it is. I think it's backfired. I'm completely convinced it's backfiring, because, like you said, there's a lot more people out there opening up to the con, so to speak, the big con.
Well, that's it. I mean, I think because of the internet, what's that done for me? Well, I've able to share, my videos I do. But it's not just that. It's like I've met Debs, I've met Chris, I've met yourself, Karen, I've met Darren, I've met Angela, I've met Danielle. I've met so many people because we're meeting up. Yeah. Because it's that avenue into it. You're like-minded to begin with, and you're realizing actually there's real people out there. Real people who've got families, they work, they've got their own place. They're just regular people like me. And then you're getting in touch, and we're meeting up, and we're spending time together. We're sharing this experience together. And that's because the internet helps us do that. So as you said, it's a big time backfired. And the more I feel this is going to grow. What we're doing now, we're going out, we're meeting up, we're going to talk about doing camps, this and that. I reckon that's going to grow. It's going to flourish. And how amazing, just jump 6 months to 12 months ahead. More of us meet up, we're traveling to different places. We're seeing this wonderful countryside of the British Isles. And more are going to do it. And it's what a fantastic outlet that is. And then we're sharing experiences. We've all got a story. We've all got a story to tell, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we're sharing that. We're listening. We're learning from each other, because we're all teachers in our own way. We've all got insights. We've all got just as much valuable information to share, and that's a strong thing, and that's going to grow. And it's fantastic. I am looking forward to the future. It's just amazing. Lately, it's just been a buzz.
Yeah.
It's all about the learning. That's what it is. You learn. If you don't learn all your life for the rest of your life, then there's no point. It's all about absorbing new knowledge about new things. That's what's, you know, call it your chill out time from your, you know, your mundane 5 days a week, going to work, doing the school run, doing the shopping, the house, whatever. Call it your chill out time. But when you get the opportunity to meeting new people, that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about for me, meeting new people, getting to, like you said, getting to listen to their stories. But when you're together with like-minded people and that energy is there, you're absorbing that energy off other people, especially for me as an empath, because I suffer severely with people's negative energy. So there's nothing greater than being out there and just spending it with people who appreciate you for you, appreciate what you believe, and share that belief and share that moment. It's all about sharing that moment. If it's for 5 minutes, 5 hours or 5 days, it's all about sharing that moment. And I think that's what, you know, that brick in the wall. It's like the song in it, that brick in the wall. That's what it is. We're turning it. I said it to you. Stick a telly on all our kids' heads. They might as well. And turning us all into sheeple. So you need to break away from it and say no. And this, like you say, there's one more every day going, yeah. It's not about that. It's about being out there. It's about taking me back to our roots, which is where we were before with the conversation, taking us back to our roots. So
Paul, oh, sorry, Karen. Paul's just asked me in the chat. You there?
Yeah, go on.
Paul's just asked me in the chat. He said, "Do you guys meet up?" Yes, we do, Paul. Yes. As often as we can. Find us on Facebook or on YouTube or chat to us here in the chat. We do, and we try to meet up as often as we can. We might not all be able to come to each meet, but one or two of us will be there, and we'll just have a brew. We'll go for a walk in the woods. We'll share stories. It's kind of what we need to be doing, I think. Sharing experiences, as you're saying about energy, and I keep harking on about Scotland, but to me, even the drive was that'd have been enough to see the change in the scenery. And these corridors as we're moving, and the deer and the pheasants and hares and red squirrels and things I haven't seen before in the north was just, the energy to me was unbelievable. And even as we carried on north, obviously, to go and meet Isabella, it was just like being in another land. And in my head I thought, and now I know why the Sattry stories come from this area.
Yeah.
Why there's so many historical accounts from that area in Scotland. It was like something out of Lord of the Rings, in all honesty. Yeah. And I thought, if only we could share this with like hundreds and hundreds of people and get them to see it and fall in love with it again and care about it. And we saw a lot of people like that when we were up there, didn't we? We saw a lot of hikers, a lot of really friendly, nice people.
Yeah.
Did you notice like how the pace of life up there, it was like just so slow, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was just so calm. And it's like was walking back and I was talking to an elderly couple on bench. And it was interesting, listening. Oh, Scottish accent. I know because they're from Scotland, that's where they live. But just the fact like they were this spot, it sounded different to me, and the area was different to what I know around here.
It was.
So it was such an amazing time, and for me, it was just like a mind cleanser. Scotland was a mind cleanser for me, and what we shared yesterday, I was thinking this can't get any better. Because we're seeing the heart of the countryside, and you can picture it, can't you, while you're there, the wild man as they're roaming up and down the country. And these are the places they're passing through. And you look around and you think, there's tons of habitat here. And it's that old chestnut. Oh, there's not enough habitat in the British Isles. What complete bollocks.
Yeah.
I mean, the life is teeming with life. And we saw that. When we're driving, we was in Dazzy's car, we're driving down the country lane, there's deer hopping through the fields, there's pheasants and grouse around, It's just a wilderness of life. and the vastness of it, the forests, the valleys. Oh, this might sound a bit an oxymoron, but for the first time, I actually heard the sound of silence.
Yeah.
Don't seem right me saying that, does it? But when we were in them deep forests, you could hear a pin drop for miles, couldn't you?
Yeah.
And it was calling out, and it was just echoing around the valley. And it was just like, man, that is silence. It's just a dream. Fantastic stuff.
What was it like from a filmmaker's point of view, Chris?
Well, you never enough time, have you? You like you said, you want to all that sort of, if you like, prey, for want of a better word, if you look at it from a wildman's perspective, and food and habitat. I mean, I always come back to the skeptics, no matter how hard I try and get away from one. You know what I mean? And it must bug you as well, Dev. I know we're trying to get away from that angle and trying to get away from proving our point constantly. But when you do see something that solidifies what you thought, you do want to shout it from the rooftops and show it everybody. So you want to get a drone out and you want to fly, through the forests and show everything that you're seeing. I mean, that's just a case of just. I think it's a case of people not wanting to believe, isn't it? A lot of the time, you don't really want to believe. It's great when you get new people in the groups that are really interested. You can tell the difference. There's a big difference between people that have already made their mind up and people that haven't. And when we went to Scotland, it was like when I went last year. It's just that is prime habitat for anything living wild, whatever it might be, because there's more than just, in my opinion, Bigfoot out there. So I don't know. I mean, Rob wasn't, when we were talking about all this phenomena being linked. What do you think about that, Rob? I know you've mentioned that to me before, haven't you? It's all being linked somehow.
Sorry, Chris, say that again. I didn't catch that question.
You were offline, but when I was saying earlier that I interviewed Steve Meara and he was talking about all this being linked somehow, all the different phenomena being linked to supernatural, paranormal, all that. You said it before that, haven't you?
Yeah. It's like, I mean, the way I know it or interpret it is you've got physical and non-physical, and I think even the physical is an expression. It's just an expression of consciousness. It's a realm. So you'll see something you'll interpret as a physical entity. Then you may find something that's non-physical, but the combining factor for me is consciousness. There's no boundaries or limits with that, and that's why for me it's a minefield. It's like the unknown is like an abyss. It's bottomless, and I think if you're open-minded, open in heart, you can resonate with that. You're compatible to see something that the next guy wouldn't, perhaps, because they're closed. If the door is closed, nothing's going to enter.
Yeah.
So it's for me personally, it was all part of unlearning or freeing yourself from the conditioning. You get your 70. That's all it is. This is the life that's around. It's all been discovered. It's all been categorized. It's all been logged. Go out and enjoy bird watching or something, or fishing or something like that, which, by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. That's equally as amazing to me. But yeah, if you free yourself from that, you can kind of feel how it's all connected. It's all connected. There's nothing separate.
So do you think Bigfoot is interdimensional then? Or we'll call it that. Do you think he walks between worlds, as they say in that's Native American law, isn't it? But you know what I mean?
Yeah, or I think why can't it be both?
Both, yeah.
Because the thing, I had a real good chat with Daniela yesterday exactly about this, and she said she made a real good point. She said, if they are interdimensional or a spiritual being, why do they need to stick ground sticks in the ground? I thought, yeah, it's a good point. That that tell you, like, that's like a flesh and blood thing, isn't it? It's doing something physical. It's popping sticks in the ground. It's making glyphs. It's making structures. That's a physical being. So if it's spiritual or interdimensional, why would it need to do that?
It might be plugging into the energy.
Possibly, yeah. But we were saying, well, why can't it be both?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about the human mind, right? On one end of the spectrum,
yeah,
unfortunately, you got people who would struggle to add 1 + 1 in the mind, because they've not got that ability or intellect to do that. But on the other end of the spectrum, you've got people that could work out advanced trigonometry in the mind. And then there's everybody in the middle of that spectrum. There's a range in the middle. So you've got one end of the spectrum there and the other end of the spectrum there. So I'm thinking maybe this phenomenon, this creature, is exactly like that. I mean, if you look at the witness reports, you can see such a variety of what people explain what they saw.
Perfectly.
It's all shapes and sizes. So with all that shapes and sizes is abilities of what they can do. So you can't pin it to one thing. So the question is, are they interdimensional? Well, who am I to say that they're not?
Yeah.
I say that maybe they could be. It's okay. It explains the stuff we can't answer. That's just my point anyway on that.
For me, it's vibrational. Angela described it as, if you work on one vibration, as you ascend or you open yourself up, your vibration changes. And I also think that back in the Neolithic time, the 5 senses that we would have had, which is your hearing, taste, smell, all your normal ones, but you had this one called self, and it was a self-preservation, and you used all of your senses to keep yourself alive. A little bit like we only use 10% of our brain. I think maybe back then we accessed other senses that to us seem magical and woo-like, but what kept us alive back then, you know, this sense of tribe and knowing that your child is ill without even knowing why you know that, or people say that they see the relatives just before they die. That kind of connection between families, is it something like that and we've just lost it?
Yeah, I'd say so, Deborah. Absolutely.
I don't think we've completely lost it.
No, that's it. Yeah, you're right.
No, the inverted world is designed to take that away from you. As children, a child's heart is pure.
Yeah.
And we've seen, you've seen it, Karen, with your kids and grandchildren. We with Owen and Lola, they see stuff that I don't know. I can go in the woods and Owen will see stuff I've just walked past.
Yeah.
Because children are more alert. You're born with these natural abilities, but the world is designed to rob you that. And obviously, as you grow up, and then, you know, it's all about education and your work and career and all this and bills and blah blah blah. It distracts you. It takes all that away from you. So I think we're born with it.
Yeah.
But it's taken from us.
Yeah, I agree.
But we can reconnect back. We can get back to that.
Yeah. That's where we are now. That's at that point in our lives now where we're trying to reconnect with where we was before. But like you say, when we was kids. Because when I watch the kids, and like you say, they see things and we just don't see them. Even as connected as we are to being outside, when I take the kids out, it's amazing the things they see. And you're trying to make out what they've said they've seen, and you just can't see it. Now, we're trying to get back to there, aren't we, so to speak? Especially me and you, Robert, because that's why we go out, isn't it? That's the whole point of going out. To reconnect to where we want.
It happens instantly, though. It's like a good analogy I heard, and I can't remember who said this, but they said like the condition of the world. It's like you're like a ball being pressed at the bottom of a water tank, right? But soon as you realize and snap out of it, the ball is released, and boom, you shoot to the surface of the top instantly. And I guess that's what it was like for me. It took a long time. The process for me took a while. But as soon as it all dawned on me, it was like, boom, I was back to, where I should be, back to the experience. And because of that, it comes thick and fast. But having said that, you made a great point before, Karen. You can never force it. And that's and I kind of regret that. I have gone out and I'm wood knocking and calling out, and I shouldn't have done any of that. Maybe it's a tad disrespectful. So, I've made faults. Whereas I've gone out there and I've not really looked for anything. I've just sat there in the stillness, and then something's presented itself because it's on their terms. And I think it's like the energies. It's like waves. It comes in and it goes back out. But if you're open, you're compatible for that. It's like synchronicity. It's the right place, right time. It'll show itself and pass. So yeah, learning curve for me is something I've been thinking about this week a lot. Actually, is never to go looking for it. Never push it.
I never take anything out of the woods or the forest without asking first, and that's something I've been. That's what I teach my kids. Even if they just want to take a stick off the ground, I always tell them to ask first, can we take it? Because it's not ours to take. It belongs to the forest. Or to the forest folk, as I tell the kids, because that's what I believe. Everything out there belongs to the forest people. So you can't just take it, even if it's just a little stone or an acorn or just a twig, a little branch, because one of my little ones likes to carry a stick around. But I always say, well, you have to ask first before you take it.
Yeah,
and people don't understand that, but it's not ours to take. It's like me coming in your house and just taking something off your side. That's how I see it. That's their home. It belongs to them, not to me. I'm just a visitor. And if you're visiting somebody's home, you don't just take something off the side without asking. And that's how it is for me.
In chat, Paul's asked, is that why? Either. Completely agree with Paul. I think when you think of like Charmaine and Jan and me, I was still at 15, I was still quite immature, I'll be honest. I was still believed in fairies, and I looked for things in the park. We used to do that with Karen's, like a go and look for your things kind of thing. So I think I was still a bit magical at that time. I hadn't lost it. I was only at this stage where you do exams. The world hadn't opened for me, really.
That park had that park in them days when we was kids, Deb, was a magical place to go. It was a magical place to go. And knowing that park and that walk up to the hallway to the gardens, where the toilet block is and all that.
Yeah.
I've hid in them laurel trees as a kid. Yeah. And my mum's been looking for me for 10, 15 minutes and couldn't find me. And I've been laughing at her through them trees. So when you recall all that, when you had your sighting, I could walk that path and pass each and every single one of them trees with you.
Yeah.
Because I remember it as a kid as well. What a magical place it was. And we did look for fairies because that's what we did. We didn't have the internet and all that. That's what we did. But you lose it somewhere in between. You lose all that. And that's what, for me, when I go out, the first time I got the opportunity to step back outside again, because of life and how life was and what have you. But the first, that feeling that, like as if you'd been released, like the ball had been released in the water. Yeah. And when I make my way to my walk, I have to cut through 2 housing estates before I get to my trees. I feel it. It's like it rises from my toes as I get closer and closer on the path to where you're on that walkway and all the trees are overhanging. It's like as soon as my foot steps over that fence, whoosh, I'm there. I'm in that magical place, and I've forgot everything. I forgot even who I am. I'm just in that moment, in that magical place, and that's the thing you can't describe. But you visited, That's how I feel. I'm still visiting, even though it's my magical place, it's my walk, it's where I go, they're my woods. Each and every time I go, I'm still visiting.
Karen,
I'm still asking.
Karen,
Yeah.
do you remember that? Not at the front of the house, not the bit that pointed to Bewell, the bit that pointed down to the animal bit and the thing. There was 4 stones outside, weren't there?
Yeah.
Do you remember them stones? I'm not imagining them, am
I? As soon as you said it, I didn't remember him until you said it, and I was like, "Oh no way! Yeah, I remember them stones because we used to climb on them and stuff. Because we was little, we was only little then, so things like that was like there was massive stones. But if we went there now, they wouldn't be so big. Them stones. I remember that garden because my mum always used to make you always have to behave in the garden.
Yeah.
Where the animals were, but as soon as you got to the garden, you had to stand next to your mum and you weren't allowed to touch anything or stand on anything. It was one of them keep off the grass places. Like if you visited like a country house or big mansion, there's certain areas in the garden where you're not allowed to stand, and that's how that garden was. And like you said, it was a sensory garden. It had food, it had everything. It had everything a wild man would need, so to speak.
I wonder if we get back to magnetic energy, was it something to do with those stones?
You see, because they was the magic stones. That's what I remembered when you said the stones. I said to the kids, because the kids was there listening, and I said the magic stones, and they went, "What do you mean?" I went, "They was magic stones when we was kids, but like you said, magnetic energy because of what they are."
Yeah. The one was quartz, wasn't it? It had all that glittering.
It was shiny, it was sparkly when you was little. I'm trying to remember it as a little kid, but even though I know that it was some form of crystal as an adult, as a child, they was magic stones.
They was.
Why did my mum tell me there was magic stones? Did my nana tell her there was magic stones? Who told me nana there was magic stones? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. Did you say? I remember one of them had fossils.
Yeah.
In it, and the other one was from volcanic rock, wasn't it? Yeah,
and
limestone.
Quite sparkly.
Like, so that sparkly rock is everywhere where we walked in those forests. It's all over the floor. And that instantly made me think of this. I thought, oh my God, it's the same kind of rock. You know, it's like that. Is it something to bloody do with that? Because no matter where my research takes me, I always get dragged back to the magnetic earth. Maybe my maiden name's Crossley, innit? When you split it down, it means where 2 ley lines cross.
Yeah.
So for me,
wow, yeah, good point.
Yeah, but you know that you know it. Well, I don't know how much people know about the crystals of it. They're all the stones. That's what they are, aren't they? Their energy. Each different stone has a different magnetic energy, so to speak, doesn't it? I mean, I'm not well up on stones myself, so if there's anybody out there that is and understands it a bit more, then can you put some info in the chat for us all? But the magnetic energy, like you said, taking us back to that.
If the ground sticks are not for a corporeal flesh and blood animal, they're not there to point out a food source. The arches are not there to point out water. What if they are some kind of connection to the earth, like some form of battery, like a grounding stick?
Yeah.
That a perfect example, a grounding stick. What if it's to do with that? They're always near water. Is that because of the energy that water makes? That's where I keep getting dragged back to that. Are those sticks bloody grounding sticks?
Well, think of this, Deborah, right? If you sit by a stream and just listen to that trickling sound.
Yeah, it's valuable.
Where does it take you?
Yeah.
As soon as you it's instant, innit? As soon as you tune into that trickling sound of the stream, you shut your eyes, clear your mind, and all you can hear is that gorgeous trickling of the sound. You've left your body. It's like you've astral projected somewhere. Yes. You're out of your vessel.
You've become.
And I wonder if it's to do with that, because it makes perfect. there's these raw sounds, these raw vibrations from Earth. So maybe the ground sticks by the streams could be to do with that. It makes perfect sense to me, that.
A kind of tapping into a battery. When we were at Ossian's Cave, as soon as we pulled up in that car park and we opened the car and we got out, Darren spotted a ground stick. The one that Fuzzy Lou is now describing, a stick that has a light tipped end, and it's clearly been snapped and it's rammed into the ground. And I remember thinking, right, there's loads and loads of food, but if it's the energy of this waterfall or the rocks at the waterfall? And it had a feel to it when we were there, didn't it? When we stood there looking at that waterfall.
Yeah, it did.
It was breathtaking. So to me, I honestly think the question that Chris raised before and Steve Mera, not only are there all these hidden stories in families that people say I don't want to talk about that, you've also got this lost knowledge of we once knew what each rock gave us and what each crystal meant. And we've maybe lost that. So maybe back then we were sticking sticks in the ground to ground ourselves. Rich Americans pay for sticks you stick in the ground to ground yourself. They call grounded sticks, and you can buy them on Amazon. And you can't, I'm not lying. You can get grounding blankets. You lie a blanket on your grass, you bring it in, you sit on it, you're grounded. That's crap. You need to get your feet on the floor. Yeah.
You can.
But what if it's that? I mean, what if it's just that? I don't understand energy on Earth energy, but I know the people that are, and to me, it's connected. It is all connected. There are certain places where the veil is thin, and people see UFOs, they see Bigfoots, they see lights, they see fairies, boggarts, whatever you want, werewolves, whatever it want to be, energy moving. These thin veils. I am convinced of that, and I don't know where I've got it from. That's just, to me, it is all connected somehow.
It's like I agree with you, but it's like two different dimensions, isn't it?
Yeah.
Overlapping.
Or maybe there's loads of dimensions.
Well, yeah, not just two. Yeah, it's all different. Tweens, as I call them. I call them tweens because of the between world. I have, me being a witch, obviously, it's in between worlds. Like, I don't have mirrors facing certain ways, and I don't have protection for my doorways and my windows. And it's the same for me. Bad energy can come into you through the tween, and it's the same as being in different dimensions. We can overlap into them different dimensions. That's something I strongly believe anyway, because I know people who claim to have gone into the other dimension. So we can tune back into it. Because we've lost it, it doesn't mean that other beings, we'll just say beings, doesn't mean that they have lost it. Be it UFOs, big cats, Bigfoot, whatever. We've lost it because that's how we've been trained to lose everything, haven't we? Yeah. But it doesn't necessarily mean that other animals, other beings, other hominids, whatever, have lost it. So they're still capable of going in the in-between. And that's why sometimes you'll see the flesh and blood creature and sometimes you won't. Because when you don't, it's in the in-between. And you just catch it.
Like Shane. Because Shane's a bushcrafter, right? So he's out there and he's just bushcrafting. Have you experienced anything like blights or strange earth energy or moving, anything out of the ordinary like that, Shane?
No, only thing I've ever really experienced when I've been wild camping is like seeing that I told you about that tree being shaken side to side in wood, and some pushing up against my brother, and another time when my brother, when he felt like he got elbowed inside, and that he goes, "Have you elbowed me? What side were you at?" This side. I said, "Well, I'm not over there. I'm over here." Right. That's one of the things we've ever experienced. Can't think of any.
That wouldn't be like in a I'll just say spirit just for once and for a better word, because I don't know what word to use to explain it. But if you're feeling, I mean, some people say they can feel spirit touching, but if you're actually feeling someone's elbow in you, or you're feeling someone brushing past you, that's flesh and blood. That's not another dimension, is it, so to speak?
No. But there is saying that what you call it, Bigfoot is psychic, and you can feel him in your head. He sends you messages. When I was younger, I used to walk around these woods years ago, and what you call it, I got a feeling that someone was watching me, and I thought, I'm getting out of here. I just got that feeling. But I am psychic anyway. I am psychic anyway. I'm part psychic, so I do pick up on things.
So I'm noticing that. I am noticing people that can A, pick up on things, or B, are very open-minded like Chris, where they think outside the box and they question everything. People who work with animals or have special healing abilities, it just seems to me, even if you take the woo out of it completely, a certain type of person is becoming aware of them. And I feel like we're being led somewhere, I'll be honest. Isabella said it feels like there's going to be this uprising. And knowing your old self and your old skills and your old culture would help you through it, kind of thing. Kind of this thing where it's going to kind of implode. And the forest folk could maybe help us or want us to wake up in some way. And I'm really struggling for words. I don't know how to put it. As if our survival and their survival is linked somehow, and they're like, well, you wait to go up and look around and see what you're doing. It has that kind of feel to me. I feel rushed to share and get people to listen. I don't know how Chris must find it so incredibly frustrating, because he knows 1,000 times more than me what goes on in the actual, what we've drip fed and what the real stuff is. What's the word I'm trying? How am I trying to put it, Chris? I can't get it. You can. Like an uprising's coming, that kind of thing. People are saying.
No, I don't know. Do you know what? In what you hear a lot of from these, they call themselves the light bringers, and they talk a lot of hotter, really, about it, because from my perspective, I look around and all I see are people going to sleep.
Yeah.
People seem to think there's this uprising and people are waking up, and I think the only people waking up are the ones that are meant to. I just see this generation of kids, without the right mentorship, if you like, or the right parents or the right, person helping them. They're doomed, really, because they're up against it. The adults are up against it, as it is. But these kids, with all this new tech coming out and all the distractions and all the peer pressure, needing to and wanting them to be in a specific and look a specific way, what chance have they got? What chance have they got?
Hopefully,
to get them out. Just getting them outdoors is one way of, sort of combating that. But I mean, you can get into food, can't you? As we discussed it last week, food, and it's everything. We're really being bombarded from all angles, really. And is this just one part of like you said? Is it for the awakened to see this? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on, but I get the feeling.
Are we the chosen ones?
Maybe not even the chosen ones, the unfortunate fortunates, I call them. Because you have this experience and you don't know what to do with it or where to go with it, and it just gives you a million bloody questions. But it does open your eyes. For all it was a terrifying, horrible experience, it made me question things like, well, if that's can be real, what else is actually real, what they're feeding me, And I think that's why I thought I was mental for a long time, because I thought, why isn't everyone else questioning this? Why are we just finishing school, going home, watching Captain Pugwash, going to bed? Why is nobody else like these monsters out there? And you're all just sat here watching Grange Hill. I felt like I was going mental. So to me, I kind of get it now when people go, no, I've been questioning my entire life. And it tends to be people whose parents either question outside the box or have them out in nature a lot. Because they have a balance, don't they? They have something to measure it to, all this. Well, they think, well, that's not what I'm seeing when I'm out. I'm seeing, yeah.
Well, my dad, he was in army, and like when he came out to it, he well, got us outdoors, and he kept us in outdoors for about 3 or 4 days. Bushcrafting, you name it, we did it. Catching our own food, all that lot, and it stuck with us. Me and my brother, and my sister, my other brother. One of my brothers, he's a allotment. He grows vegetables and raises his own chickens for eggs and that lot. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how it should be. That's how it was. Each one did the skill they were great at. And some of us, it was building fires. For others, it was tanning leather. For others, it was seeing to chickens, sheep, goats, whatever. Yeah, and you did that, and that was your skill set. And I bet it's not even 200 years ago that every little lad had a knife, and he knew how to probably get the wood he needed to make a fire quite easily.
Can I just throw the health and safety card in there, please, Madam? We don't have children play with knives. Not in the 21st century. Don't be silly.
Well, you know what I mean. Back then, when you had to find your own food and you had to cut your own wood, and that kind of survival thing was, kids helped from being toddling, didn't they? As soon as they could toddle, they were sent for kindling or firewood or whatever. Yeah. So we were kind of inbuilt that we knew what to pick and eat and what we could have eaten, how your dad caught the fish and what your mum did with it to clean it. All of that I picked up from being in the bands with my nana when I was a kid, or going out with my granddad and stuff like that. Been built in my head, and I think, what must my ancestors' skills have been like if my granddad's was that capable that he could stay out for time at end? What was his dad like, and his dad before him, and his dad before him? Do you get what I mean? All that's been lost.
Yeah, but it's Western society, isn't it? I watched a video on the old Facebook the other week. I mean, some of you might have seen it, I don't know. And it was this little Asian girl, Thailand or somewhere like that. Cooking. She was 3 years of age, and she prepared a whole meal for her family at 3 years of age. Yeah. And that was a skill that we all had back then. But, we can't live without the gas cooker, we can't live without electricity. And then you had all the comments there, oh my God, what's going on? That child's going to get burned, that child's going to get cut. I was like, for Christ's sake, that child just cooked a full meal for the family. She didn't cut her fingers, she didn't get burned. There was an adult there, because that little child measured out all individually them spices she put in that meal. Yeah. But she was learning, because that's how they live. They can't just nip down the road for a bottle of milk, and they have to be, everything's there, basic scratch, made on a fire, how it was for us back then. And that's a skill a lot of people have lost. And that's why I take my kids out there and I say to them, they watch Bear Grylls and all that, because I can't teach them how to make fiery sticks. I wish I could. Yeah. So we watch stuff like that. I don't like my kids watching anything else.
Well, you tell them to take 3 lighters, you're not going to be able to make, take 3 lighters, make sure you got a backup to your backup to your backup. It's just kind of, you give him a confidence as well. It's not just a physical skill you give him. You give him a confidence level.
You can't get 3 lighters back then, that little...
I know.
Debs.
Yeah?
He's been taking away everything.
In my bushcraft school, I have 3 ways to start a fire. 3 backups. I've got my fire rod, my flint and steel, and my lighter.
It's to be prepared.
If all else fails, we've got that. Modern technology.
There's a big difference between survival and thriving. So we can all survive in the wild, but our ancestors thrived and planned 18 months ahead, because it was life or death to them. And it's that kind of mentality that you're trying to tap into. We've all got this little bit of our mind that can tap into it, but for them, it is the majority of how they think consistently, day in, day out. So I don't think you'd even care about us most of the time.
And that's why, if there is a flesh and blood creature out there, it's capable of living that life totally separate from us without us even, you know, even though we've got, you know, there's that many people out there who's had a sighting.
Yeah.
If they didn't want us to see them, we wouldn't see them.
Yeah.
We wouldn't see them because
we
you know, we all different tribes all across the country, and we hid away from each other. The only time they came across each other was at conflict or in other people's territory. You can hide away. People out there. I could go in River now and hide away for a week and no one would find me. You just wouldn't find me, and I haven't got any skills. But I know I could hide away without an helicopter coming over and finding me body heat. Do you know what I mean? I could hide from you in the woods, you wouldn't find me.
Yeah, exactly.
So anybody, you know, like a wild man who's still got all them capable skills, I think when we see him, it's by pure accident every time.
Sometimes.
Not, you know, not unless it's like the ladies up there. They're just so lucky, aren't they? But I think we're lucky to have seen them.
Yeah, I agree.
It was a mistake for them for us to see them because they could just hide away forever. It's proven anyway. Tribes all over the world still being discovered. You know, so what makes it any different from it being a wild man or a Bigfoot or whatever you want to call it?
Shane could go out for the week, wouldn't you, Shane? Quite easily go out for the week
and survive out there.
Yeah, quite, because it's a skill he's had from being a boy, so it's second nature to him.
Yeah.
It's
just been taken away from the majority of us. That's all it is, isn't it?
And these
obtain them skills back. There's people like Shane out there who can show you.
Yeah, there's blokes out there that are doing weeks out because it's their only form of sanity. There's a lot of ex-serving soldiers that are out there for because they just can't do society anymore. They've had enough of the bullshit and they've been used enough, and they just go and move out into the wild.
What a place to move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's one thing it'll make you laugh. This once, me and my brother and a friend went camping, and we ran out of gas. So my mate goes, "How are we gonna cook this?" And we've got a fire there, and me and my brother look, we've got a fire there, but how are you gonna cook on that? I went, this kid don't know nothing. You know what I mean? We just laughed at him.
That's frightening, isn't it?
Listen, I know a kid who thinks chocolate milk comes from brown cows, so we won't even go down that road.
No, it's worrying that. There was that survey a couple of months back now in the paper, and it said that only 8 children in a class knew what a cow was.
Yeah.
Frightening. Well, I remember our ma back there knowing what natural scents we had. You know, and I don't know how many young lads these days could tell you that. He knew what newt was this, what that was. He just knew the name for everything. Yeah.
But you just knew it though, didn't you? You didn't have to look in the book, you just knew the name of it. Becky does it with me sometimes. We'll be out and I'll say, oh, look at that, such a thing, or look at that. And she goes, how do you know what that is? And then I think, I don't even know how I know what it is.
Yeah.
Because I've been taught what it is by whoever.
Yeah.
And she says, oh, did you learn it in a book? Well, no, because I got the patience to read a book to learn stuff like that. It's just knowledge you pick up in it, like the bushcraft. You just know what certain things are. And I think, well, you're not that young. You should know what these things are, but they just don't teach you. And that's why I like to take the kids out. And so they can say, what's that, Nana? Oh, that's an oak tree. What's that, Nana? You know what I mean? So then they know what it is. That's a chicken.
When we were with Rob yesterday, the best part of that day, Rob, I think you will agree, was the kids.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They wanted to know what they could eat, what they could pick. I mean, in all honesty, when we found the rabbit's head, do you remember?
Yeah.
Lola was like, "Can I touch it?"
I wanted to bring it home.
That's what she was like.
No, put it in a bag and let's take it home.
That is exactly what she was like. She was so interested, and she wanted to know about it and why it would have happened and how it was there and why things had to die. And then we explained to her that unfortunately that was just part of it. but that it goes into the ground and then that makes the flowers grow again. And she was just kind of
So-
like, oh, right, great. She kind of really...
They just take it on the chin, but then you'll get adults saying, "Oh my God, don't show them that! Don't take that!" They'll have
Make sure
nightmares.
you put anti-bac on your hands. Here's a wipe. Here's a wipe for your hands. Don't touch that. Don't get dirt under your fingernails. Or have you washed your hands before you eat your sandwich?
You're supposed to
Honestly.
eat a certain amount of dirt. The reason
Yeah,
we have to take vitamins and irons is because we used to eat food that contained dirt, and we got some of our natural minerals that way. So to me, there's no harm in a kid. I ate 3 tadpoles when I was a kid. My mum absolutely melted. My dad said it's only protein. You know, it depends on how you look at it, doesn't it, really?
Oh yeah.
Yesterday we was out for 9 hours, right? It was a nice, long, steady day. And the kids were still buzzing when we were driving back. But obviously, as soon as they got in bed, they conked out. Boom, they were fast asleep. But what a day. And,
Nothing gives a smile than a dirty, filthy child.
I was the dirty, filthy child in Scotland. I have not slept like that for years. As soon as I got in that bed, I was asleep. And it was just the area, I think. Just the good
It's the
friends.
best sleep that you've had in a long time.
What was it like for you guys? Was it the same?
well, I must admit, I slept pretty shit the first night because I was on the couch. But the second night on the floor, I was like a dead body. Boom, I was gone.
Poor Chris had to share though with Dad, so it might have been different.
Well, it's Chris's fault, you know. Chris gave everybody the lurg. Chris was saying, "Oh yeah, I'm on this berry diet, and it's these toxins coming out of my body." And poor Deborah and Darren are ill for a week.
Right, are you ill?
Yeah, but it's got that chest infection. I can't shake it.
Oh, what a shame I missed out on that one, guys.
No. In all honesty, right? I've got to say something about this. Right? I owe Chris a massive thank you. I have had a sugar addiction from being a kid, I would imagine. I have always battled with my weight, and I have always been a picky, sugary, treaty type of person, right? So we go away, and Chris has got this massive box of fruit, and all we ate all weekend was really healthy, nice food. And I think part of this crap is me detoxifying, because all I've done from coming home, I've dropped the red meat, I'm eating fruit consistently all the time, and I just think it's that all the crap coming out of my system. Yeah, I really do think it's that.
I'm sat here just realising that I've missed a shot. My sugar craving's just like hitting the roof. I'm hitting peak now, where I'm about to chew through my fingernails because I've got no sugary crap out the side of me.
I've been living on grapes, and for some, I don't. What is it, Chris, that they say about fruit? Because I really can feel the benefit of it.
It's a natural alkalizer. So most of our body generally, because the shit we eat, is it's acidic. So that's why we get ill. Basically, that's a very basic explanation. But basically, crap food, acidic foods cause disease. It's as simple as that. So when you eat alkaline foods that balance your body out, disease, the cells weaken and get basically you get disease because your cells weaken, and it's called acidosis. So that's why that's basically why you look outside now and everyone's ill. Everyone's got Alzheimer's, everyone's getting cancer, leukemias, heart disease. It's not rocket science. It's there. It's a bit like all this other stuff, you know, royal wedding. It's a bit like all that stuff. It's in your face.
Yeah.
But you can't. It's a bit like the wood for the trees, isn't it? We all know everybody's getting ill because we're all eating crap. Everybody knows that that's what it is. But we're sort of on this merry-go-round, aren't we? Why? And don't get me wrong, the fruit. You know yourself. Eating clean and eating fruit is bloody hard when you've not been doing it for 40 years.
Yeah.
I never, you know. I'm in my 40s and I barely eat fruit, and now that's all I eat. So you feel better for it. So it can only, essentially it's not rocket science. I still cheat now and then. It doesn't mean you have to be boring and not have your treats. You've got to be realistic with it. So if you can do it 2 days on fruit, do 2 days. and then and then eat some crap, or it's better than doing it 7 days consistently. I've got mates that are just ill all the time. I mean, I'm 2 stone overweight, so I'm trying to lose that 2 stone. And they're not, and they'll tell you that they're not asked. It's like they put this front on. Oh, I'm not bothered, me. I'm just going to go and have a sandwich, bacon, butter. I'm not bothered. When really, you are, mate. Come on, stop talking shit. You are bothered. But it's about just say it's hard, Chris. I can't do it.
Yeah.
And they don't want to tell you that. They don't want to admit that. And I'll tell anybody, it's bloody hard work. It's really hard work. Sugar addiction is just as bad as any addiction. There's no difference.
I would argue with myself, like, Debbie, just don't go and get another. No, and it'd play on my mind. And all the time I'd be pick. And I thought, this is ridiculous. So I am picking, but I'm picking on, we all hear the 5 a day, don't we? And I think we're just sick of hearing it and it goes right over the top of our heads. But when you put it basically down to the fact that you can either have really shitty fuel or you can have really good fuel.
Yeah.
And we choose the really shitty fuel because it tastes nice.
Yeah.
And then we're all that worried about surviving and getting through to rent money and making sure that we've got the gas bill and that. It's just really hard to make it a priority at the front of your head. So I've kind of done what you said. Just don't totally veg out on it, but get as much fruit into you in the day as you can. Yeah. So I'm drinking more juice and, just getting as much fruit down as I can.
Easier.
I like the sound of this. I've just hit middle age, and Deborah back me up on this. I've been a stick insect all my life. I've been able to eat whatever I want, when I want, the biggest, fattest cream cake, the whole box of cream cake. But over the past few months, then that disgusting sugar habit that I have is an adverse effect. Because you're trying to lose 2 stone. I've just gained 2 stone.
Yeah.
2 stone I didn't even gain when I was 9 months pregnant. And I've got this horrible fear that fat person that's been trying to get out of my body all my life is suddenly appearing. So this sounds like a plan to me.
It's quite easy, really. I've just swapped anything that I'd have that was white and now have brown. So like brown rice, brown pasta, brown bread, and get as many seeds as I can in me. And it's like Daniela said there, if you've got the time to maybe knock a few herbs and spices together, you can make something taste as tasty as a takeaway. When we were away with the guys, there was this smell, and I remember I come back and I said to Mark, they had this, I don't know what it was, I think it was couscous, but it smelled amazing. It smelled like a kebab. And I was like, it smelled like the healthiest kebab you could have. And they just had it on pita bread, but it smelled unbelievable, Karen. Yeah, and I just thought I could live on that.
Yeah, it's simple foods, Deb. It's simple foods. Sorry.
Hang on.
It's simple foods. Basic foods. See, as you said that, couscous, it's healthy. Have it with a jacket potato or something like that. There's enough nutrients and things you need in that meal alone. I think a good point, though, with your dietary changes, if you eat lots of fiber, and for me, I cut meat out totally. It's like it has physical benefits, but also I feel it has spiritual benefits as well.
Yes.
And the first thing I noticed, this might sound wishy-washy, I know it does, but as soon as I cut the meat out, I felt like I had a better connection to animals.
Yeah.
It's like when I first started knocking out my diet, for example, we go to Eaton Park and they've got a little animal sanctuary there. And I felt like I had a better connection with the goats I was seeing, with the llamas I was seeing, because I wasn't eating that. I wasn't eating animal.
Yeah.
And I think on a spiritual side of things, we were talking about a vibrational thing. Of course, it has so many health benefits. So you're not putting toxins in your body. But also what it does for your mind as well is brain food. You're fueling your brain, which is more important too. So these little changes you can make, it can make a big difference on your daily life. It gives you better energy, gives you a more positive outlook, and then you can connect better with living life around you too. That's what I felt since making that changes, and I never really get ill anymore. I can't remember the last cold I had, because obviously I'm eating a lot of olive oil and garlic and fresh vegetables. I mean, probably 80% of my diet is fruit and veg. I mean, I'll eat me, obviously for my energy, me pasta and potato, rice. I eat fish as well. But the land animals, I don't touch that anymore. But that's the diet that works for me. So yeah, so many benefits, and as you've done, Debs, you're swapping. It's a mental thing. I mean, I've tried diets in the past, but you've got to change your mental view of food. And as soon as you change your mental view, it's like what you're doing. You're changing your sugary sweets, like a cake, or you can have a bag of sweets, can't you? So you're changing it from that to a bunch of grapes or a banana or an apple. Well, it's that habit. That's your sweets now, isn't it?
Yeah, but me, I've got to be honest, me, Karen and Shane would probably look at the meat aspect differently, just because we've been brought up differently, where if you raise your animal and you eat it, I know it's not going to go down very well with people, this, but we've grown up where you do eat rabbit and you eat hare and you eat whatever your mum could get on that table that week, you ate, or you didn't get a dinner, So I have ate pigeon and I've ate squirrel and I've ate some very strange things, but that's how I grew up. That's how it was for me. But I do think now,
that's the same for me. But for me now, I've got an empty nest, so I've gone from making all them balanced, healthy family meals to just me and a teenage daughter who's never here and lives in McDonald's. So I have become lazy in that respect, and I'm not eating that balanced 5 a day, so to speak, because there's only me here. So it's easy for me to just make a sandwich and eat a packet of crisps with a sandwich, and then I've gained 2 stone because I'm not eating that healthy balanced diet. They've all gone now, and they're all making their own healthy balanced teas for their children, and I'm sat here on my own and I'm just pigging out on crap constantly.
I don't think we're not asking people to go on a water diet hour. We're not saying like. I think what we're saying is, just make
your mind clearer when you eat healthier. Your mind is clearer. Your body's fitter. I found that myself because I'm becoming a fat, lazy slob eating sugar all the time, because that's what I feel like right now.
If you take the health out of it, right, get rid of the health aspect of it.
It's about health. It's about It's about feeding your body and your brain. It's not about being fat or being thin or being the Olympic champion runner or the big weightlifter. It's about yourself, innit? When you eat better, you think better, you feel better.
I worry about what's in our food.
I do. I'm terrible with that.
I think that dumbs us down. Isn't the one an omnivore? Well, Dad, he would be, wouldn't he? He'd be an opportunist. He would eat what he could get his hands on, and he probably would only take what he needed, because that's
but it'd still be balanced, wouldn't it? It's not like my diet's disgusting. But if I lived out there in the wild, obviously it'd be a much better diet, because it'd still be a balanced diet, because there's still food out there, whether he ate meat or a forage. It'd still be a balanced diet. So obviously, in a health aspect, I would be a healthier person.
We're
not eating all the meat additives, in it. It's all like back to what Chris said. We're poisoning ourselves because we live in that consumer society. Where if we did raise our own chickens in the back garden and grow our own vegetables, it'd be a total. Because I've done it. I've grown my own veg in the garden. You know, I had Andy here, and he's crazy for that, growing vegetables. You know he is.
I do mine.
If I didn't think next door's cats would have killed my chickens, then we would have had chickens. But if you're able to do that, then you will be a healthier, more peace at mind, spiritual, for want of a better word, person, because that healthy, balanced diet makes you that way.
Take it to the other extreme. So you've got this wild person. We're going to use the word person just for this conversation.
Yeah.
You've got this wild person that's lived like that for generation after generation after generation on the right food, doing the right amount of exercise. Your brain would be immense. Your senses would be honed to, you know, they're doing what we forgot how to do. You know what I mean? Imagine what their diet's like, just foraging and on the move consistently.
You never sighting of a scrawny wild man, do you? They're
No.
all big, burly,
Yeah.
healthy-looking specimens of a creature. You never hear a description of a frail or emancipated animal. You never hear any of your sightings. Not one have said that. So obviously,
I think there is one. There is one, but he talks about it like more like an injury, you know, like a body injury, where he says that the skin is kind of, the fur's hair is missing on the back, and it looks like where there's been a scar, you know, as if it's like cut itself or something. He talks a bit more like that, like in the patchy hair kind of thing. But no, you're right. No sickly looking. No, everything. Talk about this muscled. Yeah, you're right. You're right on that one.
They must be eating a healthy diet if they're a flesh and blood creature.
Mm.
That's what you just said. We had rabbit, pigeon, also what got put on the table is what you ate. You didn't get a choice.
Yeah, exactly.
But now you get that choice in the packet, don't you? So then I suppose our kids, we've all done it with our children. We all feed our children, you know, that pre-packed meat and all that. But when I was a kid, it didn't come in a packet. Nothing come in a packet. They're trying to take it back to that now, aren't they? Where they're trying to get rid of plastic packaging. But when we was kids, when our mums went to the market and she went to the veg stall and he poured the potatoes in a bag straight into a shop.
Yeah.
And the apples and the carrots and everything else went on top. It was only like your peaches and stuff like that got wrapped in a brown paper bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what you see in the countryside, isn't it?
But this hope, because it's only been 2 generations. We've gone from being sustaining, growing in our own gardens, round about the war. You think on in the war, everyone was digging for Britain.
In a respect.
So,
because I just went shooting rabbit.
Yeah, yeah. But it'll only take 2 generations for us to go back. There's hope in that, isn't there?
Yeah, of course. If we tell our children now that's the right way, and this, then they'll teach our children the next 2 generations. Maybe it'll be halfway there, if not all the way there.
Yeah. Well, Rob said it yesterday. He, like you said, you've got that big back garden there, haven't you? And all it's got in it is grass and dandelions.
Mm.
And like, if he starts planting now and thinks ahead, he can, like, this time next year, he could be nearly self-sustained when it comes to fruit and veg.
Of course you can. I mean, everyone does it. Strawberries. You can grow strawberries. You can grow a whole mountain of.
Yeah.
If you've got flowers grow in your garden, lettuce grow in your garden, carrots grow in your garden, onions grow in your garden. I've got.
Hey, I like them dandelions, me. Honestly, I'm munching on them. My back garden's full of dandelions, and I'm like, when I'm out in garden, I'm picking them up and I'm like munching on them, you know, and good stuff. Yeah, we know a family.
My kids will come and just pick the chives and eat the chives and the dandelions and that. I've got chocolate mint growing in my garden and they're forever eating it. And I say, you can eat other flowers. There's other flowers in the garden you can eat.
Well, you can buy
you know what I mean? It's crazy.
We went to Waitrose, and like, no, I didn't go shopping at Waitrose, right? I went with somebody who was going shopping to Waitrose, and they had pansies in a pot and wood sorrel, and they were selling it like £7 a pot for wood sorrel.
Oh my God.
It just blew me head. Like, no.
That's because they think that's right. That consumer will tells you that it's right to pay £7 for that.
In a plastic pot, so you probably paid £5 for the pot, haven't you?
Yeah, of course you have.
£1 for the man to cook it and wash it and stuff. You could just take your kids in wood and go and pick a basket full and take it home.
Of course you could. Of course you could.
Mental.
That's taking them out there. It's making them realise, like I said, I know chocolate milk comes from brown cows. She even, when they were the strawberry, what she just plucked out of the garden to give it to her little girl. She said, "Yeah, I give that." She went, "What is it?" And it's strawberry. She went, "Oh my God, don't give her that."
Oh,
But where do you think strawberries come from? She said, "Tesco's."
oh, oh, there's no hope. It's
So, you know, that's the generation that hasn't got a clue that milk actually does come from a cow. The kids, I was with this class, they have a robot milking machine where the cows just go in by themselves and it's that's good. But they've shown them, like a normal milking machine. But he's shown them how to milk the cows. That's how machines was invented. Take it right back. Some of them kids didn't even know that milk came from cows. I know they was only babies, they're still only babies, but even at that age, my kids knew that milk came from a cow.
they learn quicker when they're that age.
Of course they learn quicker, but they was frightened. And I'm like, I know they're only 3 and 4, but they should know that what they are. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. The kids just know, like, they don't know what a cow is.
But we can just make that's a dead easy change in it for us to make. We just, because all of us who are into this subject are also into nature. So we have all got our kids and our grandkids out there. And
they schools back in as well. Trying to into school anyway.
It is changing.
Yeah. We're all getting back to our roots.
And I'm hoping, because it's such a big change as the wild camping and the bushcrafting, there's a lot of younger people who are getting into that now. And it's becoming like the kind of fun thing to do. So to me, I think that's awesome, because you're thinking they're out there. They're not stuck on their iPads. They're not stuck on the computer. They're not believing what the Daily Mail's telling them. They're out there and they're probably questioning things while they're watching the stars or whatever it is they do when they're wild camping. So I think is it growing change? Is there more people getting into it?
Yeah, there is. There is a lot more people getting into wild camping, bushcrafting, prepping, all that lot. Yeah, there is.
There's a need for it, though, isn't there? People want to know how to prepare the food, how to preserve the food. I think my granddad once told me there's enough brains in any animal to tan the hide, and there's enough sinew to sew the hide together in every single animal. And that, if he hadn't told me that, I wouldn't know that. Yeah. So,
and do you know how to cure the hide? There's tanning and there's curing.
We've lost you, Dad.
I don't hear. Can you hear me?
Just can hear you.
I think it's my Wi-Fi, in all honesty. I'm flicking in and out, so I might have to, in a second, just bring it to a close if you don't mind.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Yeah, it's all right.
Do you know how to? I was saying, do you know how to cure her hide as well as tanning?
I do, but we probably don't want to talk about it because there's vegans in the chat. So I don't want to be going down that road again.
Anyway, none of this matters what we've been talking about this past 2 hours. None of it matters because, it's the royal wedding tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, not for me. I will not be partaking. Nah.
Fucking reptilian bastards.
What's the channel get took down now?
I hope the hologram breaks down on camera. I hope the holograms the eye behind breaks down. You can see the true lizard types that they are.
I'm hoping Prince Philip stands up in the middle of it and just goes bollocks, somewhat along them lines, and it all just falls apart. But I mean,
I'm hoping James Hewitt comes in just at that moment when this. Does anybody disagree with this wedding? Yes, I do, because I'm his father. Sorry.
Luke, I am your father.
Yeah, fuck the royal family.
Well, let's make a pact that tomorrow.
Coming tomorrow, so fuck the royal family.
Yeah, when it's on, let's just make a pact that everyone go in the woods and completely ignore it.
Yeah. The streets getting ripped down.
Yeah, Nazi bastards. We'll be paying for that dinner. Right, well, on that note, with the barking dog, I am going to call an end to it, and it was absolutely fantastic. Thank you, guys.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
I know
yeah,
we did it on a bit of a thingy, but to Shane, Karen, Rob, Chris, and everybody else in the chat, what an absolutely amazing night, and we will definitely do another one next week. So until next time, thank you very much. Good night.
Good night, Deb. Good night, all.